Okay. Um, Garuda, are you recording?
Just start.
Sweet. Okay. Um, yeah. So last week you spoke with Parson. You were set loose in the city. Your obligations to the Zentarum met, and you proceeded to explore the city with Locke, who is, from what you can tell, a mercenary working for the Zentarum as your local guide. You met the local blacksmith, who is pretty well known, purchased a new sword for Afra. You checked out the market, purchased some spell components and other miscellaneous goods. You wandered the um, essentially the outer ring of the town, swung by a pretty nice seaside manor to check out a library. Um, then you headed towards the festival, grabbed some lunch, met some guards, saw there was a bunch of quests on the quest board and outside the guards tower, met the captain of the guards, went to the festival, and I believe that's where we left off. So, we're just going to continue from there. Alrighty. Yeah. What do we want to do? I think we're already on the festival map. So we'll just continue right where we left off. Afra, you had just got done checking out all of the different animals and such that were over here.
Yep.
Yeah. So what is next, I guess, is the big question. I'll go ahead and keep it in order. Yeah, your map's blacked out because you left, so I removed your miniature.
I didn't leave.
Oh, you didn't? Oh, okay.
Remember, I told you, and I wrote it in roleplay, but I decided I didn't have to do that. So.
Oh, you didn't do that. Okay, let me add you back in. I was trying to add immersion. So yeah, I guess we'll just kind of keep going round robin unless you guys are working together on something. So Jenna, it does look like
I think 3 of us had just kind of met up right in the middle of the festival.
Yeah. So we got Jenna, Garuda, and Veshkatel, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what are you guys up to?
Well, Garuda was like getting Jenna to chat up this gunsmith guy, if I remember rightly.
Correct.
Control my body.
And, yeah, Vesh
no,
was just
it was
wanting to talk to
consensual.
Garuda about the archery competition.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Oh, there's
yeah.
a archery competition. You say? It sounds like it could be.
Yeah, that's right. We there's a potential patron. If you remember, the strongest lady in town, she's going to be judging over the archery contest, and I think, having seen your skills firsthand, I think you would impress her and perhaps win her win us some respect in her eyes if you were to enter.
Do we know what time it starts? Just tick tock, tick tock.
At some point this afternoon, before the festival closes for the night.
This sounds like it'd be very, very fun. I like to shoot
Not
things.
only that, we don't know what the prizes are, if there are prizes. It could be something useful.
Yeah, where's the shine up seat at? I'll go sign myself up for it. Where?
Yeah, it's this area over here, wasn't it?
Yeah, so the archery stuff is over here.
You ping us something?
Yeah, pinging something right on the right-hand side of the map. There's like a big fenced-off area with targets at the other end and all the arrows scattered around.
And the targets look like goblins with apples on their heads.
Okay, yeah.
I think you got a good chance, Garuda. Look at some of those arrows. They're like 60 feet away from the target.
I'll make my way over there to sign myself up for it.
All right.
I want to
yeah.
go with him so that when he's doing the shooting, I want to use bless to boost him up.
All right. So you guys head on over to the archery area. Vesh, I don't know where your miniature is. You're like
I
lost in the crowd.
don't actually know either. He
You're
was-
down
I
by the
was-
entrance, actually. I don't think you ever actually moved.
Ah,
Oh,
okay.
there you go.
No, I'm
He's
sure
yelling
I
at me
did. Sure I did.
when we had the entrance.
Yeah.
He was so deep in the theater of his mind. That's important. All right. So as you approach, yeah, there is an elderly half elf who is who's running this thing. And he looks over at you, Garuda, and he sees your bow and all that, and he immediately kind of understands the intent, and he gives you a friendly nod. Hail, well met. Are you here to compete, I suppose?
Indeed. What is the prizes if one is to win?
It's nothing too great. The competition is played with short bows. Let's see. You basically get scored on whether or not you can get the most bullseyes. Though, if you want to take some risks. All of our archery targets also have, as you can see, little apples on their heads. So if you could shoot the apples off their heads, without murdering them, that'd be even better than a bullseye. So, but yeah, the prize, I believe, is going to be coin based on however many people enter. The entry fee is 3 gold.
No,
I'll
what?
front that for him.
Look over at Veshadel. No, man. Well, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
What
That
time
was
does
my
the
idea.
competition start?
It'll be starting up in about an hour. We're waiting until the sun's moved a little bit closer to the ocean. That'll give us some nice shadows from the tree line here. Won't be as much in folks' eyes.
Okay, well, it looks like you have another participant then.
So, Vesh turns to
Now,
Jenna and
what
moves up to
name
her and
should I put
whispers.
down on the docket here?
I look over at the party. Question is there, like, look, really anybody motioning me, and
You
Garuda.
know
I
the
believe he
name?
asked for your name.
yeah, Garuda.
Ah, my apologies if it's against your culture to share your name with new faces, but I do need a name, so Garuda it is then.
Garuda, it's fine.
I'll admit I've heard tales of your people's prowess with a bow, but I'm excited to see it in action.
Yes,
Just
hopefully.
keep in mind, no flying.
Oh, yes, of course. That'll be probably against the rules, so I'm guessing.
Hmm.
Some sort of rules. Okay, well,
All right.
yes. Bye, see you in an hour. I'll turn around and walk away.
Okay.
Yeah, when we've all huddled up together, Vesh is going to be like, so, in order for this victory to be impressive, we'll need for there to be a few entrants, wouldn't you say?
Oh, I can enter too. I've got a bow.
No. Well, I mean, you can if you wish, but what I was more talking about was perhaps there are some people who can be, and he kind of cracks his knuckles a bit, he's like persuaded to enter, do you think, around here?
What
Well,
about
look
that
around and
orc
shrug, huh?
fellow with all those big broken axes? You look
Yeah,
like
you
you might
see
get
that
along with him,
there is
Vish.
a booth where people are throwing axes. So that's happening.
That could
Oh,
be
I'm-
a fun distraction for an hour, but I was thinking more if we go around to some of these perhaps slightly drunk folk, maybe the less dexterous looking sort, and we give them an incentive to enter the archery competition. What do you think?
I mean, if
It
this
will
is
make
what you
Garuda
wish.
look better. If
Now, you guys are noticing that these different boosts and stuff, essentially, the people are winning what looks like worms or caterpillars. They are sort of a golden color, and they have just buckets of them, and they're handing them out essentially as prizes. And then apparently the people are taking them over to the info booth and trading the worms for actual prizes.
Mm.
Yeah.
so, these are like the tokens that come spewing out of the arcade machines.
Yes, exactly.
They're disgusting.
Worm tickets.
Yeah, you hear small children squeal that they have golden grubs. That's apparently what the tickets are called.
Nice.
I'm also going to take this opportunity to tell everyone about the super cute little whale thing over there that we absolutely need to buy.
For the low price of 500 gold.
Yes.
All right.
Absolutely not.
What do you mean? Well, could be quite beneficial.
Yeah.
I mean,
We're
if it
quite
can
poor.
swim, that makes.
Well, like, not today, but, like, there's all this prize money that we can get, and we're going to hunt those gnolls, and we can come back tomorrow.
His name is Asshole?
Yeah, that's what the guy said, but we could change that.
Or we could keep it.
I like
I
it.
want to name him Muffin. I think Muffin is a good name. He's very cute.
With that sort of name, does it look tasty? I mean, 500 GP is a lot for a meal.
I'm gonna smack him, like, playfully.
Playfully okay. Apparently, it based on her reaction, there's a good chance it does look delicious. Yeah.
Well,
No one would get that defensive that quickly unless the thing that you were talking about was in fact delicious looking.
well, I am partial to fish. We will see.
So who's that old guy next to you, Jen?
I don't know. He keeps just, hitting me with those wandering eyes.
Yeah. He kind of shakes his head and says, "Oh, all right, now I'm sorry. I'm debating whether to enter the archery tournament. Is all. It's been a while since I fired a bow, so."
But you look like you're a natural for it.
Oh, in my youth, perhaps. I would fire a crossbow with the best of them when we sailed the coast. Alas, this competition uses a short bow. That's a baby's weapon.
Well, if it's
I
such a
mean,
baby's weapon, surely you have conquered it by now.
Oh, of course. I learned it when I was but 3 years old.
Well, what better way to prove it? We have a master archer here who would be happy to challenge you.
I just worry that with my rheumatism, I might not. I might make a fool of myself.
I think you did great. And
I've got this gout.
I
in
think
my
archers
knees.
are.
Oh, what were you saying there, girl? You
I
must
said I
be at
think you
least
did great.
13, 14?
A bit older than that.
Well, good for you. You know what? Might as well. And he kind of like hobbles on over. Sign up.
Yes.
Struggling with the gout.
Yeah. The rheumatism.
Hey, the good thing about 5th edition is you can't have disadvantage more than once.
So, yes, a few more like that, and it'll make for a good competition, something a bit more interesting for both Garuda and the judges.
Yeah, but
I'm sure a few other people can be persuaded to sign up.
who is this master archer you're speaking of?
Vesh just pats him on the shoulder. It's like, you were firing that bow like a cannon through those smugglers. Even through the unconscious haze, I still remember.
Yeah, Jenna, she's just gonna go around and start like getting free drinks from these guys, and she's gonna start talking to them all about how like um good archers are like sexy and that they should all be like doing archery stuff, and that's what's up.
Oh well, one of them poignantly asks, will you be one of the judges then?"
Yes, I will. I'll be watching and judging.
"Oh, I see. Oh, I can't help but notice there's no ring on your fingers, ma'am."
No, there isn't. You got a keen eye, huh?
"Oh, I see." And yeah, he seems deep in thought, plotting. Hmm. hmm. Meanwhile, there is a crowd gathering over at the arena, as apparently two monks are dishing it out to each other, non-lethally.
That's boring. Non-lethally. Anyway, Vesh is going to do the same thing as Jenna, but without the persuasive
Okay.
angle. He's going to go around and be like, you look like you should enter the archery competition. And when people are just like, why would I do that? He's just going to kind of crack his knuckles, and he's going to maybe cough out a little bit of poison breath here and there and just be like, yes, I would like to see you compete. I truly would.
All right. I'm gonna say that you guys work the crowd for about, we'll say, 15-20 minutes each. Jenna, give me a either deception or persuasion. Vesh, give me an intimidate. While the two of them are working on that, what are the rest of you up to?
I'm just loitering.
Oof,
Okay.
and that one.
Oh, oof. All right.
Oh no.
Well, this is a seaside town, and I'm gonna be straight with you. They are used to harlots and flirts, so you know you're working it, but you know there's a lot of people working the crowd today. So whether or not it has any impact or not, we will have to see. So you got Afra, you're just gonna kind of chill and hang out. Yeah, Naxos, you up to anything in particular?
May grab a drink and then head over to the stands over here to wait for the competition to start.
All right, yeah. You arrive early, and then you see Ida and Prime Water also arrive on the scene as well. And eventually, these stands begin to fill up with other people as well. And of course, miniatures will be representational of a much bigger crowd, so we don't break everybody's roll 20 putting down 1 billion miniatures. Theater of the mind and all that good stuff. All right, so as you sit down and are kind of waiting, this dude Prime Water makes no secret that he's looking right at you, and he excuses himself from Ida and just says, "Hey, make sure to save me a seat." And he comes down and he sits right next to you, easily within reach of a inflict wound spell or any other sort of attack. He seems unguarded and confident as he sits down next to you.
I put down my ale and look at him. Can I help you?
It just seemed like you're all by yourself. I thought I'd sit down and introduce myself.
Well, then who are you?
The name's Gellin. Hail and well met, friend.
A pleasure.
And who do I find myself speaking with on this fine afternoon?
You can call me Wave. Blue skin and all.
Wave. Interesting. Very interesting. You seem to be a man of the metal cloth, if I'm not mistaken.
You'd be correct.
Oh. What great divine do you serve? I would never be so forward as to presume, but I have a hunch. I'd like scratched, I suppose.
Kind of looks at him suspiciously. The great lady Umberlee, of course.
Ah, the bitch queen herself. Hmm.
The only one.
Yeah, she hasn't had much luck setting up in this town. Are you aiming to change that?
The whole coast is her domain, so she'll be here and everywhere else.
Far more than the coast is her domain, and she has very powerful servants that make sure of that. Are you?
My eyes kind of narrow, and I'm getting very suspicious. Can I do like a
insight check? Sure.
Insight check to see if he's running game on me of some sort. Cause
okay.
Naxos isn't comfortable with overly friendly people.
Naxos is not a hollaback girl.
Who would be? So what's you want me to roll it secretly? Oh, okay, you rolled it publicly. Yeah, as weird as it sounds, this guy is either really into you or really into getting to know new people in town. So he it's one or the other, maybe both, but he I mean, he definitely looks like a sinister dude, like if Lex Luthor still had his hair. But you know, at the same time,
how's he dressed? Like, can you describe him a little bit?
He is dressed much like Ida in functional but expensive clothing. So both of them have clothes that you could definitely do a hard day's work in, but it's one of those like better thread count, better stitching, you know, like nice embroidery here and there. There's enough subtleties there that say, hey, I can afford to wear comfortable ass clothes. But it's not like in any way ostentatious, like some of the nobles from like Waterdeep would wear or something like that.
So he's not like a street person trying to work.
Oh no, this 100%. He is either a street person who is dressed like somebody with money, or he is somebody with money.
Fair enough. Continue.
Yeah. So he just kind of leaves the question hanging in the air. Are you such a servant?
I'm her most devoted servant.
Oh. Wow. I had no idea. That's the most devoted servant of Umberlee the Bitch Queen sits next to me in this simple town, attending this archery festival. I suppose I should be quite honored. Is there anything that I can do for you, most devout servant, Wave of Umberlee, while you stay here in our simple town?
Perhaps some accommodations while I'm passing through.
Accommodations. I see. Well, I could definitely recommend the empty net. It would allow you to sleep above the waves. I hear that it's a great place to stay in touch.
My eyes narrow a little bit more. Well, comp me a room then. You're so generous.
Sure. I will have one of my people book you a night on me under the name Wave.
Thank you for your kindness, sir. And Umberlee won't say she'll smile upon you, but she'll turn her eye.
Yes, I should I should hope she would never smile upon me, for I know her true intent.
Then you're well informed.
All right, and
And
then
I go back to my ale.
okay, he sees you go back to your ale, and he eyes you, taking in your measure a bit more, and then he just sort of says, "Very, very interesting." And then he stands up and he heads back over to sit next to his buddy.
Next is shifting around, kind of uncomfortable after being sized up. Wondering when his friends are going to get here.
So, Locke, anything that you're doing while the others are working the crowd?
Locke is looking around at this this archery tournament, just saying if there's any way that the game is possibly rigged. You know, if it's rigged in any way, I want to make sure that Gruda makes
Okay. All right, so basically, all of the bows and arrows and equipment and stuff are kept in this tent, and this dude right here and his young assistant are basically just keeping track of everything. They're doing some last minute stuff, making sure the bows are well strung and the arrows are well fletched and all that. You do see that the quote unquote goblins out here, they are in a perpetual state of frightened panic as they are essentially tied to these posts on their
How are they actually goblins?
Strapped to their chest is
I thought they were like goblin statues.
No, strapped to their chest is the actual target, and then balanced precariously on their heads is an apple. And you wonder to yourself what they could have done to be put in such a situation that they have to wait for over an hour before they are shot at by people who are mostly going to be drunk.
So I'll ask the guy who's watching over the arrows and stuff if I can look at the arrows and bows for a minute just to check them out.
All right. He kind of narrows his elven eyes at you a little bit, and says, you're one of them, animal folk, I suppose, being a turtle. What are you? Not trying to be offensive. I just, you don't see too many of this. He kind of gestures at you.
I'm a turtle.
Ah, from where do you hail, turtle?
Well, I'm waiting for my screen to load. But I believe is it Gesh, where turtles are from?
There is an island chain outside of Chult where
Chult. Yeah, Chult.
Yeah, the turtles come from.
Off the coast of Chult.
Oh, that was that place that had the soul problem. The souls. Is that right?
Possibly.
There was a whole messy business with that last year, was it? Something 2 years ago. It feels like the world's always in peril. So why do you need to take a look? Are you competing?
No, just want to look at the quality of the arrows and the bows. I won't touch anything.
Seems like a weird thing for just a regular person to ask me. He's going to look at you suspiciously.
I get
give me either a deception or persuasion. Yeah, deception or persuasion. Persuasion is you're just being like, pretty firm about like wanting to see it. Whereas deception would be you're coming across as just curious and you have no, he says, I mean, sure, why not? Here, take a look. And he kind of walks with you and he says, boy, uh, is everything ready? And the kid just kind of shakes his head vigorously. And you see that, yeah, there are a great many short bows available for the competition and also many arrows. Are you a Fletcher or woodworker?
No.
Are you proficient with bows?
Short bows are simple
I-
weapon.
No,
yeah.
no,
He
but
is.
Locke pulls out a coin and he just says, "You see that bird over there? If you could let him have choice of bows in there," and I hand him a gold coin.
The man looks at your coin and doesn't take it. And he says, "We don't sell bows. If you're trying to buy a bow, you can win one from the prize booth."
No, I would just like that bird over there to have first. I'd be very appreciative.
Oh, I see what's happening here. I mean, it's no skin off my back, but it would certainly make the night easier if I knew I could afford a fine meal and much to drink.
A gold coin won't buy you that.
I mean, us festival folk, we have expensive tastes.
Of course they do.
So I'll pull out a second coin and a 2 coin.
He kind of 2 gold coins. He kind of eyes them and he
2 coin.
All right. Yeah, they disappear from your hand. And he nods to you and says, yeah, I don't see the harm in Sir Bird getting to pick a bow first.
What was
You're cutting out a little.
what was
I can't hear him.
You may have to type it out, dude. We're losing you.
all right? What is your
All right, so you feel that you have secured first pick for your ally.
so?
All right. So while that is happening, I think that covers everybody, unless Garuda, you had something you want to do.
I'm just talking to Alpha about the new firearms and my asshole.
Yeah.
I mean,
Jenna.
there's time if you wanted to go see see Afra's asshole for yourself and know if you. Oh, that sounded bad. If you want to go see, the creature named asshole for yourself, it still kind of sounds bad. But anyways, yeah, there's time if you wanted to wander by it soon.
Yeah,
Maybe if you lock your bird eyes on his whatever the hell he is eyes, it will change things for you.
Yeah, after you want to go show me asshole, take me go see asshole.
I'm gonna roll my eyes at the innuendo and say, "Come
Okay.
on."
All right, as you head back, MC the turtle is there, and he sees you arrive with this bird, and he eyes the bird like in a professional manner, and he says, "Dudettes, yeah, I don't mind trading, but I'm afraid to tell you that there don't count as a monster, according to the Sword Coast Freedom Act for humanoids. So
Yeah, I know.
I
just
assumed
had
you were
one friend that wanted to
got
meet
this
another
thing
friend.
and you were gonna trade it to me, right? Is that what you were planning?
I was not. Thank you, though.
Hold on. How much would you give for me?
Oh, hey now, are you a cop? Cause dude, if you're a cop, you have to tell me if I ask.
That's totally
I don't
how it
think that's
works.
true. I have to look that up.
I'm pretty sure it is, because we don't do no kind of slavery at MC's Scaled Emporium, right? And you see the two half-orcs and the two kobolds and the golem all nod their heads. Even the cockatrice baby nods its head.
I'm gonna stroll past him and just
Oh,
ignore
I
him
get
because
it.
he's weird.
I know why you're back. You're back to look at my asshole.
This is
He
This
waddles
is-
along after you guys. Yeah, take it all in. There it is. My big fat asshole.
Afra's teeth are gritted.
Asshole, do something funny. And the thing kind of like sleepily gets up and it looks around blearily and it smiles real big when it sees you, Afra, and it goes, honk. You ever heard an
Okay,
asshole
there,
make a
bud.
sound like that? Have you?
I think I heard Regis asshole make it sound like that once. Can I try to touch it?
Yeah, well, the price is still firm. 500. 500. I'm willing to let that thing go. So
Can I pedal?
again, it's joyful nature is bringing everybody down. So
Can I try
See
to
how
pedal
cute he
crash?
is?
Yeah.
is what?
Can I try to pedal?
Yeah, you can try pedal.
Uh,
Give me an animal handling check. It has advantage because asshole is a little bit of a slut. So oh yeah. Asshole pushes its fatness against the cage bars and lets out happy little honks as you stroke him with your feathery hands.
I don't think I ever enjoyed rubbing an asshole this much.
Yeah, you know, if you're gonna keep tickling my asshole like this, I might have to start charging. Is this something funny?
Why would you charge for that? Don't you pay for that?
When you got an
thought
asshole
that-
this fat and this unique, you definitely charge for it. And who said that anyways? Now we have to spawn a meta pigeon. If a certain number of meta pigeons spawn, the world ends. So
I look over at her. I want to buy this asshole. This asshole looks
Okay.
nice.
Yeah, no, I agree. He's so cute. He's very cute.
Asshole,
So
we
we'll
will
come
be
back,
back for
yeah?
you. We will try to
Yeah.
get you out this cage.
I'm gonna blow him a kiss.
it looks at you with barely any intelligence in its eyes, smiles broadly, and it says, "Honk."
And honk
Alright.
honk to you
How long
too,
is the
asshole.
festival going on for again?
Oh God, days for maybe forever. I think this might actually be the whole campaign.
Oh no,
yeah.
I meant like in game time. Like how many?
Right. That's a better question. Let's see. When we ended, it was 1 p.m. So the festival is actually going to go until after dark, wherein they're going to launch fireworks, and then that'll be the end of it. So.
Oh no, I meant like say like we want to come back and buy asshole. How many in-game days?
Oh
do we
yeah.
have before that?
3 days total. It'll be here for 3
Okay.
days.
Okay.
That's what I was wondering if they'd be gone before we even get back.
Oh no. She
No.
asked last. Yeah, she asked last week and confirmed they are going to be here for
Yeah.
the next 3 days. So.
Okay.
Alrighty. So you and your plot pigeon, I guess, reunite with the others.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
So
okay,
yeah, on your
so-
way back, you do pass the mimic booth, and you see someone being devoured by a mimic. It's pretty horrifying to watch. The mimic is well trained, however, and does non-lethal damage. The person is eventually disgorged covered in a thick Ghostbusters style slimy saliva, barely conscious on the ground, much to the raucous cheers of everyone involved. The curtain is then lowered, and you hear the scraping sounds of treasure chests being moved around. And as the curtain rises, there is no mimic, only identical treasure chests.
Well, that's a 5-pound nope in a 6-pound bag.
I wouldn't.
Alrighty. Anybody else have anything they want to do, or do you want to fast forward to this archery competition?
Yeah. So
There is a
Wally's
tattoo
been-
booth right here, in case anybody wanted to get a tattoo.
On your asshole.
Yeah, Wally's been watching this guy, the wizard, and like his booth. Has he seen anyone like go and drink the liquid? And like has he like seen anything that like the wizard's been doing that might be interesting?
The wizard looks bored as hell, for sure. But he does sort of perk up a little bit when people come by and actually pay the price to drink from the living concoction that's inside the cauldron. Let's see. So you see one person take a sip from the cauldron. They take the ladle and they take out the fluid and they drink from it. And to clarify, you're kind of like setting up nearby and going into like the wizard coma, so you could like see through his eyes, or what's the plan here?
Well, he can like communicate telepathically with me, right? That's not a
I
thing.
think you might be overselling Find Familiar quite a bit.
Let's look at it.
Yeah, let's all take a quick course on Find Familiar. So your familiar acts independently of you, but it will always obey your commands. In combat, it rolls its own initiative. It can't attack, but it can take other actions. If it drops to 0, it disappears, leaving no physical form, and it reappears when you cast a spell. While you are within 100 feet of your familiar, you can communicate with it telepathically. So you can communicate to it, but it cannot communicate to you. Additionally, as an action, as an action, you can see through the familiar's eyes and hear what it hears until the start of your next turn. Gain the benefits of any special senses that the familiar has. During this time, though, you are blind and deaf with regard to your own senses. So there you go.
Okay, I thought that telepathy
the more
went both
advanced
ways.
familiars are locked behind like Chain Warlock. Those are the ones that can give you like magic resistance and can telepathically communicate both ways and know languages and have their own actions and all that other, or like their own more advanced action economy and all that good stuff. So.
And like every now and then Jenna would just look like she's like passing out, like she's had too much to drink.
Okay.
And then and yeah, she'll like just keep like checking in like to spy on this guy to see what's going on.
Okay. Yeah, so some people are like, oh, it tastes like schnozberries, and they just kind of chuckle and head away. One person does start to levitate for a brief time. They think that's pretty cool. And as they start levitating away, the guy just kind of quickly moves over and grabs their foot and kind of just pulls them towards the ground and lets them hold on to something so they don't float off to their deaths. And basically, he has the attitude of a guy who has seen a lot of wondrous things and is pretty jaded. Is sort of your pickup. And he sort of paints a face on of like customer service when he needs to. But everything about him is just seen it, done that kind of deal.
Okay, could all right. That's fine.
All right. Yeah, but for the most part, people are scared to drink from the potion, but he does sell a number of potion ingredients and my first potion kit and things like that to people that like kind of make up for the fact that a lot of people don't have the courage to drink from what appears to be some kind of living ooze. So, alrighty.
Okay.
Anything else, you guys, or do we dump head over to this archery festival?
No, I'm good to
Man,
go.
I really want to do the mimic thing, but I can't embarrass myself.
I think the getting eaten by a mimic is the appeal for a lot of these people of the game. Like, you got to understand that, you're a basic bitch person in Dungeons and Dragons land. You're always in fear of always being killed by monsters, and here's an opportunity to say that you were eaten by a mimic and not have actually gotten killed by the mimic. So, just a way to spice up your life. It's like the modern day version of like rich white people swimming with dolphins. You know what I mean? Like, it's something that they could do to be like, look at how much more interesting my life is because of it.
Yeah. Too
So,
scary.
something to
Too
keep in
much
mind.
face to lose.
I mean, I'm sure sometimes accidents happen, but why would it happen to you, right? Yeah. Anyways, all right, back over here for the archery competition. This can boil down pretty easily into a couple of attack rolls for people who have entered. Afra, are you entering this thing or no?
Sure, I'll enter.
Okay. Yeah, the guy, he eyes your the half elf, he eyes your crossbow, and he says, just so you know, we're just using short bows for this competition. That'll be all right then, yeah. Seems like I just need to tell people because we had one guy earlier kept bragging he was going to use his Eldritch Blast. We had to tell him that wasn't allowed. Last time we were in, a wizard entered and used magic missile. While it definitely delighted everyone, it was 100% cheating. So as long as you're clear on that, then we're good to go.
As soon as the shooting starts, I'll cast bless.
Alrighty. So
Just on, of course, on Garuda and Afra.
okay, so Garuda and Afra, you are going to
dude.
compete. What? Is somebody else signing up? Who else is signing up?
Oh, no. I'm just saying Goutman could have really used the bless, but...
Yeah, Goutman is participating. Axe Dude shuts down his booth, and he's going to participate. Let's see. And this elf lady will compete. And let's see. And this person that is obviously a ranger will compete. There we go. That's your ringer, essentially. All right, so there's a bit of ceremony as they get ready to do this thing. The stands are packed. It doesn't look like it's packed, but the stands are packed. And people are kind of standing over here. Tattoo place is shut down right now so that people could gather along the railing here. Lots and lots of people. Let's see. Let's toss some more in there just for effect. There we go. Yeah, so lots of people gathered around. They want to see how this thing pans out. Each of you has contributed a 3 gold towards the prize here. The festival has this more of like an entertainment thing, so they're not trying to make any money off of it. So essentially, whoever wins the archery tournament does win all the money. So since 6 people entered and it's 3 gold apiece, that'd be 18 gold for the winner. And then this guy, Gellin Prime Water, he stands up and in sort of a booming voice, he says, "Hi, make it interesting. I'll double the winnings." And then everybody kind of murmurs, and then there's like some cheering. And the half elf and the little boy look at each other and they shrug and they say, the guy says, Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, it's 18. 36 gold now. 36 gold. All right, and you see the old man. He says, "It's definitely gonna be worth it. Yeah, definitely gonna be worth it. That buys a lot of gout cream." And he kind of elbows you in the feathery ribs there, Garuda. All right, so then this guy actually looks at the orc and he says, "Hey, now, hey, you can't enter this. You work for the festival." And the orc, he looks kind of sad. He's like, but I've been practicing. And he says, that doesn't matter. You know the rules. You can't participate.
Let the man shoot his bow. Jenna's gonna try and route the crowd to let him shoot.
All right. Go ahead and give me a persuasion check.
18.
18. Yeah. So as you say that, the strength of your conviction and the pleasantness of your voice kind of brings out some fervor in the people around you. And they also say, "Oi, let the orc shoot. Yeah, it'd be funny. He's big and the short bow's small." And everybody kind of like chuckles and laughs and stuff like that. And so Torzog is allowed to participate. Torzog looks to the crowd and he looks for the person who won him the freedom to fire his tiny shortbow today, and he waves at them, a big stupid smile on his face.
Jenna waves back at him like a
All right.
dainty.
Yeah. This guy, he's definitely thinking half orc babies. That's definitely what he's thinking. So.
Half orc babies.
All right. So 7'10", 300 pounds of muscle. He takes the short bow that will be offered to him, and he's going to dedicate all of his shots to the scrawny human woman that will birth his children. So this guy says, "All right then, here, bows, yeah, kid." Just randomly pick some random person to randomly select a bow. And the kid looks at him, and he looks at the kid, and the kid looks at him, and he looks at the kid, and the kid looks at him, and he looks at the kid, and the kid goes, "Oh, right." And he, "I picked this bird randomly. You, sir, you get to pick your bow first randomly."
Okay.
I mean, I randomly picked you, but you can pick any bow you want. And he kind of claps his hand over his mouth. "Well, there's nothing weird about that," says the half elf, and he kind of smiles at you guys.
What bow looks
All right,
the best?
Garuda. There are bows here. If you would like, you may make a quick investigation check to see if any bows are better or worse than any others. I mean, I think they look fine. I mean, you know, like at first glance, you know, they're all crappy. They're all crappy short bows.
2 gold.
I pick up the middle one then. One
All
of those
right.
that had less wear and tear. Yes.
Go ahead and roll a d6 for me, because they're not all good. Some of them are really bad.
Oh, god damn it.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Then the kid looks around. He wants to decide who to give it to, and he's a young man at the cusp of manhood. So he's going to pick the most beautiful of the 3 ladies who are present. So he picks this exotic Kalashite ranger. She goes over and selects hers. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Then, definitely wanting to impress, keep his lady killing streak going, he is randomly going to select another lady. He eyeballs the 2 ladies that are left, trying to make up his mind here. So we got exotic elf with cool white hair, probably a half drow, half Aasimar, sorcerer warlock. It's hard to turn that one down. he does see this sort of mousy lady over here that reminds him of his aunt. So he's
But
not sure. What?
I'm gonna give
Oh.
him a great big smile.
Oh, okay. Give me a persuasion check.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Yeah, he reads a lot of those Kuraturan comics. He's into his aunt. That's cool. So yeah, he picks you to pick out your bow.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
Do
then
you want to
I'll-
investigate them, or do you just trust the fates?
I will investigate them.
Okay, give me an investigate check. Oh yeah. The third one from the left looks like any kind of like strong shot, and the bowstring would snap. Overall, it just seems like a terrible piece of work. Like the kid did a terrible job stringing it. It's crap. It's a crappy bow.
Are any of them like nice? Like especially nice?
Are any of them more exceptional than others? The one to the right of that one is probably the best of what's left.
I will take that then.
All right. That will provide you with a +1 to your shots.
Ooh.
All right. So then he looks to the orc and the woman and the old man. He chooses the woman. She rolls a D3 for what's left, hoping she doesn't get a 3. Let's see what happens. All right. Then he picks the big muscle dude. Yeah, he picks the big muscle dude because he doesn't want the muscle dude to, kill him. So he does that. And let's see. Finally, the old man. All right. So everyone has their stuff. And Afra, the old man with gout and rheumatism, did end up with the bad bow. So.
Oh.
Like it was all planned.
He's
All
gonna
right.
one-shot himself with it, like.
Now, Afra, you look out onto the field
Mm.
and you see that maybe because of serendipity, I don't know, but all the targets are just outside of the range of a short bow, because a short bow is 80 feet, so they're just
No.
shy of the range.
Garuda's
of
got
a
a
short
sharpshooter,
bow.
so he doesn't care.
Yeah. Now, if you stood right at the line and you risked possibly stepping over the line, the front two targets would be within range. But you realize that runs the risk of possibly overstepping the line.
I'd risk it.
All right. So, essentially, you guys are firing at the first goblin on the left. I will mark him for you. So that's the guy you are currently firing at. You have a number of options here when you fire at the goblin. You can attempt a traditional shot against the bullseye. And I believe I have the numbers right here. Let me see. All right. So you're basically getting 3 shots in this tournament, one against each of the goblins. So depending on how good you do is how many points you will score. So if you were to hit the outer ring of the target shield, that would be worth 1 point. If you hit the inner ring of the bullseye, which is blue, that would be a 2 points. But if you hit the bullseye itself, it would be 4 points. Now, if you feel like the ultimate baller of archery, you could attempt to shoot the apple off of the goblin's head, which would net you a lucky 7 points.
Go for the 21, Garuda.
Yeah. Seems like the best shot to me, honestly.
Yeah. So, you might say, well, wouldn't all this just be determined by our attack rolls anyways, based on the armor class of the targets, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera? And you would absolutely be right. So hitting the outside target, the outside of the target is a 12. Hitting the inner part of the target is a 14. Hitting the bullseye is an 18, and shooting the apple off of that little goblin's head, yeah, that is a 21 armor class. All right, so I will have these folks go ahead and take their shots. This is her shot against the first target, ranger.
Are they all rolling with disadvantage then? Unless they have that shit.
Unless they had sharpshooter, am I right?
Yeah.
All right. So, in a world where all characters are variant humans wearing fursuits, of course, if you were a ranger, you would totes have sharpshooter. That being said, this here ranger is going to go ahead and take her shot, and let's see what we get. 17. Not bad. Not bad. Garuda, your shot.
All right. Well, so Kresh,
You've got blessed, remember.
I have a bit of fleece in my hand, and
Uh-huh.
as he takes his shot, I'm gonna wave the fleece around a little bit, and there's just gonna be a loud, audible like crack, like pop, like as the arrow hits the target for like more
Okay.
effect.
Okay, trying to add a little effect to it. I got you.
That's 17 too.
All right. Oh, 17, thanks to the blessing of a certain somebody. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Alrighty, so that brings us to Old Man with Gout. We're going to call him Gouty. All right.
Just name him after his disfiguring disfiguring health condition.
So Gouty, unfortunately, is going to be rolling with disadvantage from his gout, from his rheumatism, and from his shoddy bow. He did make it pretty far in his career, though. So he has a pretty good, before he retired. So he's got a pretty good, for an old man with gout, attack roll modifier. So let's see how it goes for this guy.
The disadvantage.
Yeah, the disadvantage definitely not helping, but sometimes it's your lucky day when you live in a world that's fueled by RNG. All right, here we go. Gouty takes his shot.
Ooh, daddy.
Oh my. All right. Good for you, Gouty.
Way to go, Daddy!
All right. The old man looks around and he didn't know who said it because he also has cataracts. But he blushes hardcore anyways. All right. This would be Tazak. Tazak is going to pull back the bow, and everyone gasps because one, it looks ridiculous, and two, they wonder how the bow can not just be smashed from his strength. Tazak was born in the wrong edition of Dungeons and Dragons. If only this was second edition and we still had composite bows, he would be just wrecking this shit. He would be wrecking it. But Tazak only has a 10 dexterity, so this probably isn't going to go too well for him. But let's see how it goes. Tazak, what do you got for us, buddy? He's gonna sue. Tazak takes the shot. 15. Not bad. All right. Everyone's actually doing really well.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Sorry. Tazak didn't bother to step up to the line, so he does have to do that at disadvantage. Oh. Sorry, Tazak.
He didn't hit the target.
Yeah. There is a lot of guffaws and laughter, and Tazak also blushes, but for different reasons. All right. This mysterious half Aasimar, half drow with a tragic backstory, 14 pages long, who is a sorcerer and a warlock, among other things, is going to take her shot. She's no fool. She steps up to the line to fire. But stepping up into the line incurs its own dangers. She will need to make an acrobatics check to make sure she doesn't lose her balance on the shot and step over the line. All right, but she's making it without any penalties. Here we go. Ooh, nice. And then Warlock has to make acrobatics check. Oh, okay.
Oh, damn.
Alrighty. All right, you are up, Afra.
Okay. So what am I doing? I'm gonna step up to the line, and then I have to make
If you
an
want to
acrobatics
avoid,
check.
yeah, if you want to avoid the range penalty for the short bow, you got to step up to the line. You think that it's only like an acrobatics check of like 8 to like make sure you don't step over the line. So no
Okay.
problem.
All right.
Piece of cake.
Okay.
That being said, you would remove any disadvantage for firing at the target.
Okay. I will do that then.
All right.
And wait.
You are
1d4.
blessed, so that is a 12, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, no, it could be more. Roll d4. Let's see what it is. Oh, okay.
So it's a 16.
It's a 16. I guess being religious pays off. Alrighty.
15. Oh, it's a 15.
Oh,
She got a
15.
+1 bow.
Yeah, I have a
Oh,
+1 bow.
damn.
Yeah,
There's a
that's right.
Temporary
short
+1 on
bow?
the bow.
Yep.
Incredible.
All right, so 16. Good stuff. Give me that
+1 target
acrobatics check,
shooting
though.
short bow.
Oh, yeah, no problem. So you also kind of step up right to the line. The lady, the warlock, question mark, she looks at you as you step up and take the shot, and she takes in your measure, and she gives you like a very warm smile.
I'll
All right.
give her a warm smile back.
The goblin who was not murdered looks very relieved. Alrighty. Attention then turns to the next one. Okay. Same deal. Everybody taking shots. Going back to the ranger with sharpshooter. She's gonna go ahead and take the shot. A 12. Bum, 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 bum. All right. Next up would be Garuda.
Oh,
Holy
yes.
shit.
And a loud audible crack as well.
And he's got
with the
blessed.
bit of fleece.
As that apple explodes, fruit fly, applesauce flying everywhere. There's also a boom, almost like a gunshot. Some people, their bladders let go. Other people scream in surprise. Behind you, you hear old lady Ida say, "Oh my!" And then you hear Gellin actually bark out some laughter at the shot. And he just yells, "Excellent!" All right.
Looking at the bow like, did I do that?
Yeah, you did that while you weren't here. Like you did it over and over again. I can attest. All right, old man with gout. He's already at
Gouty
disadvantage. Yeah, so he's not going to bother stepping up to the line. He can't see the targets either because he's got the cataracts. He says, Lady Timora, guide my shot. And he takes the shot.
He's
And?
not doing too bad.
Yeah, he did actually hit the target. All right. Tazak, he sees that these two have stepped up to the line, but that the other three have not. And his orc pride will not allow him to step up like a puny elf or a tiny girl. So he will stand his ground and continue to fire with disadvantage.
He had no modifiers.
He knows what he's about.
I somehow think this goblin's gonna be ripped. It's gonna get that nat 1 and pulverize the poor fuck.
All right.
No.
As you are kind of murmuring this to Locke, yes, the goblin does take an arrow to the proverbial knee. Yeah. There is a howl of pain and a spray of blood, but the goblin maintains. You see tears streaming down its face. All right, and then more raucous laughter, and you see Tazak beginning to fume. He is not happy with this at all.
He's gonna just throw the short bow at the next one.
Just launch it.
All right, let's see. Warlock question mark is going to take the
So,
shot.
Crash, while
Yeah.
Warlock question mark is shooting, I'm gonna wave
Uh-huh.
some fleece around, and I'm gonna make a loud, audible fart sound come from the orc to hopefully
All
fuck
right.
her up.
That's within range of your illusion, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll get closer. I'll go
All right.
scoot down one.
All right.
Like I'm
So
getting a closer shot. View.
yeah, she's obviously not scanning the crowd. So give me a sleight of hand with advantage, just to see if anybody
Okay.
notices.
A 19.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. So taking advantage of the press of the crowd, you very quietly and subtly get ready the fart. As the fart goes off, yeah, it is. Describe the fart, please.
Just real wet. Just real wet.
Oh, it had to be wet, huh? Okay. All right.
And
The
long.
boy who was standing too close, he throws himself backwards in fear. And that makes the old man go, eh! And like he kind of turns and he hits Garuda with the butt of his bow on accident. And it is such a kerfuffle that yes, she has disadvantage to this attack. All right. And of course, Tazak, who's already losing all of his honor points, is now probably going to have to leave town and join an orc war band and maybe be the big bad evil guy for the entire campaign at this point. Let's see. Oh
my
but
God.
she still delivers a shot. And she looks over at Afra and she says, oof. I'm not I gotta ask him what he had for lunch and make sure I don't have it.
I don't know. I don't have a good comeback.
All right, it is your turn, Afra.
Okay.
Afra, she strikes you as the kind of person that you want to be friends with, but you don't because you know that she'll always make you depressed by how awesome her life is compared to yours. Like you'll be awake at like 2 a.m. checking her Instagram and wanting to like jump out the apartment window. Like that's that's the kind of person she is. But at the same time, she just seems so nice and so cool.
Do I still have bless?
Yeah, you still bless.
Okay. I'm not doing super well. That's only a 14.
Only a 14. Okay. All right. And finally, the last goblin. This one passes out from blood loss. The last target is right here, and this one is far away. This goblin does begin kind of moving and bobbing and shaking a little bit, increasing all of the difficulties by 2.
Is the apple like stuck to his head?
It seems to be. Yeah, it definitely seems to be. Yeah.
Hey, Crash.
Yeah, what's up?
Before they start this next round, Locke will cast Bane on the 3 best shooters that are not part of the party. So that would be.
Ooh. Now keep in mind, Bane is a spell that people will know a spell has been cast on them.
They won't know by who, though, right?
Correct, but if you
They
were
might start
competing,
kicking up a fuss.
yeah, if you were competing
All
and
right.
you felt hostile
No,
magic
no,
cast on you,
no,
how would you feel about it?
I'll stay out of it.
I bring this up because a different player in another game, this is my high level game where everybody knows what they're doing. One time, he cast Mage Hand and broke concentration on a really important spell the party was using for their plan. And it completely hosed the entire session. And I just want, since you're a new player to Dungeons and Dragons, I just wanted to make sure you understood how magic works. That's all.
I appreciate the effort that person made and the suffering they incurred.
Well, I mean, don't
Rather
worry,
just
because we actually record our games. So if you'd like to watch the game, I think somebody has like a highlight clip where he cast Mage Hand, so you could just watch that part over and over and over again if you'd like.
I will like the link.
Yeah, I'll just keep quiet.
Okay. Cool. All right. So, Sharpshooter Ranger's going to take her shot. Here we go. Oh, wow. Wow. Way to flub it on the last shot. That's a shame. Okay. Next up, Garuda. Dominating this competition.
Let's go, Garuda.
A strange bird from a strange land.
Daddy.
He was in a carriage accident, and they replaced all of his bow muscles with a rocket launcher.
And one more loud crack.
All right, the goblin just shits itself out of pure terror as the wood behind the arrow splinters as well. And I'm going to be honest, the shitty bow you were using, Garuda, also explodes. Because it was just too strong of a shot. Tazak looks at you, this scrawny Kentucky Fried Chicken, and he looks down at himself, his 300 pounds, 7'10" muscle, and he looks at his little bow, and he actually enters a barbarian rage.
Can I fly away from him? Get 2 feet back?
You certainly can. Just don't cross the line. You get disqualified. Okay. All right. So the old man says, something interesting going on. I keep hearing some blasts. Is it a thunderstorm? If anybody could aim me at the last target, I'd really appreciate it. Don't worry, old timer. I'll do it. And so he kind of turns the old man towards the target, and he quickly dashes away, not wanting to be killed by this raging barbarian. Let me turn on his rage so I know he's raging. There we go. Alrighty. We'll do this for rage because paralyzed. There we go. All right. So this guy, he's going to he's going to take a shot. Goudy's been doing pretty good. All right, so he says, okay, Lady Timora, one last shot. I just want to hit all the targets today. I want to really impress those young adventurers that were taking their kid's sister to the festival.
Oof.
Sadly, Lady Timora was not able to carry it all the way. So his arrow shot comes up short. Some people kind of murmur, but for the most part, there's polite golf clap applause.
Yeah, Jenna starts clapping.
Yeah, it was a good showing. Tazak lets loose a roar, a primal savagery of absolute insolence and anger. He begs the DM, "Can I just throw the arrow?" And the DM's like, "I really don't think that the range increments for a thrown object are going to make it, what is this, 100 feet? Yeah, I don't think it's, please, I use my GM inspiration. And the DM's like, I don't know. They taught me in DM school to never allow a roll that you didn't want to face the consequences of. I really just don't feel like this is something please. So the DM allows it. He snaps his bow in half. He takes the arrow and he throws it with all of his might. The DM says, well, this is obviously going to be a disadvantage. And he says, but I'm using athletics and I'm raging. So the DM's like, oh, Jesus Christ, fine. Just make a regular athletics check. And then Tazak gets a sinister smile on his face.
You need to play Tazak. He's fucking great.
Here we go. And he still misses the target. And everyone just begins to laugh and jeer. In an absolute fury, he begins to tear the ground itself up and throw heaving masses of dirt at the targets. Occasionally punching himself to keep his rage going. All right. This lady just looks at him, and she looks at you after, and she says, "Do you mind if we scoot over a little bit? I'm getting dirt
Let's
in my
do.
hair." Yeah.
Let's
Okay.
do. Let's
Yeah.
do.
Thank you. Okay. I'm sorry. And she does kind of invade your personal bubble a little bit. It's not unpleasant. You know how
Well, yeah,
you know
I
how
might-
them
I might give her
Asimar
an-
half drow sorcerer warlocks have like a 50 in charisma, so you know.
Yeah. I might bump her back a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Like a
All
little
right.
hip bump back.
Yes. Okay. So there's exchange of hip bumps, and go ahead and give me a persuasion check.
Okay. Okay.
Oh yeah, she is very distracted by your adorable yet alluring hip bumps, and I'm gonna say she has a disadvantage on this shot because she's putting more effort into flirting than she is into shooting. So here we go. Oh, and she whiffs it hard. All right. And she kind of blows out a raspberry, and she just says, you know, I tried my best. Here you go. And she puts a hand on your shoulder, and you have guidance.
Ooh. What does guidance do for me?
Not that it.
That's
Yeah, I
another
guess you could
+1?
apply it to the acrobatics check to make sure that you didn't step over the line. So.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
won't she
yes.
still be out of range if she steps over the line for this one?
Oh yeah, at this point you don't
Yeah.
even have to step over the line. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
All right, but yeah, she gives you guidance anyways. Oh dang! All right.
Yeah.
So that's a 20...
Okay. Wait. Let me do my D4.
Oh yeah.
So that's 21.
21. That is a bullseye. All right. It would have been an apple, but it's the last target. But still, a bullseye to
Yeah.
finish up. Not bad. All right. So, the man who is not very good at math has been furiously trying to tally this shit up. So let's see how it goes. So let's see. We got the man. Let's see. Everyone waits with bated breath as this guy struggles to do the most basic rudimentary of mathematics. So let's see.
Like,
Crazy.
honestly.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think we all know.
Yeah, I
I know that just makes it even worse, you know.
The bird shooting thunder cannons. He has
Yeah,
no
and the
idea what
little
to do.
boy is like tugging on his sleeve, and he's pointing at the bird man, and the guy's just kind of shooing him away as he like tries to. He has his abacus out, you know, and he's like fucking moving beads around and shit. And then finally, somebody in the crowd yells, "It's the fucking bird!" And then the guy, frustrated and flustered, like tucks his abacus away, and he says, "Aye, the Garuda, the bird, has won the archery tournament," and everyone cheers. You know, "Ah!" And Jenna and Naxos, you hear behind them, you hear the two important NPCs. You hear the man whisper to the woman, "Ah, now that is very interesting." And Ida says, "Oh, that bird can shoot. He packs a wallop." Yeah, that's the kind of people you want on your payroll, Ida. Those kind of people.
Hey, Vesh, you know why you won? It's because he picked the first bow.
All right,
I
so
think the-
Garuda,
I think the
yeah,
sheer
they
force of
give you
will,
your prize money of 36 gold. He informs you that you would have gotten to keep the bow as part of your prize, but you smashed it. And he also gives you for winning 20 golden grubs.
I'm
And I think Afra, you came in second place. I think so.
nice. Well, I
see.
want to sleight of hand steal my bow.
Oh, okay.
I mean, unless
Is
he's
this like
gonna
a
give
down
me
the
the
pant
bow.
leg situation, or like where?
No,
you...
I'm just gonna like. It's
Oh,
gonna
like
be
you're just gonna
off to the
walk out
side.
in all
Yeah.
the hubbub? I got you. I
Yeah,
got you.
with my bow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they do give you. Actually, hold on. Let's see. 22. Oh my God. Sorry, my golden grub count was way off. Yeah, Garuda, for winning, and then for your two quote unquote bullseyes, you get a grand total of 90 golden grubs.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
That's
so
like
you could
3
get
buckets worth.
you
I
can
know
get
what
yeah, you
these
can get
for.
mad prizes with that shit.
I'm about to get
Afra,
a
you
used
got
teddy
one
bear.
bullseye. You got one bullseye during the tournament, so they give you 20 golden grubs.
Okay.
All right.
And 36 extra gold. I'm gonna give that to Locke. Well, I feel like this is more of a team effort, so put this for the team.
All
We're
right.
still doing that, right?
Tazok has fled into the woods
All right.
at this point.
He's got to find that whole warband.
Yeah.
Less than 3 days before they arrive at the festival.
The warlord Tazok has now entered the campaign, so you will always remember what transpired this day. All right. So, what do you guys want to get up to now? As the hush that fell over the archery tournament fades, the festivities continue. You can assume that with all the ceremony, pomp, and all that kind of shit, it's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon at this point.
Did I succeed in keeping my +1 short bow?
Is it
Yeah, what was
actually a
that?
+1 short bow, or is it just for the competition?
For the purposes of this competition, it was certainly a +1 short bow. But you know what? You're trying to steal it. I like it. Let's see what happens. In all the hustle and bustle, I'm going to just roll once for this dude. I will roll out in the open for him. So let's see. I think. Let me check. Yeah, there we go. Here we go. Yeah. He does not notice that the bow went missing.
Yes.
So is it
+1
like a
short
master
bow.
workshop?
So it is a festival bow. It is +1, but not enchanted. So it is simply a +1 to attack rolls.
Okay.
Yeah, as Vesh said, back in the day, we would have called that a masterwork weapon.
I will take it.
All right.
Right,
Jenna
so,
runs up to Garuda and gives him a big hug, like, "Oh my god, look at you! You did amazing!"
All right. All the dude bros that didn't enter the tournament because they thought you were full of shit, they look over and see that you are willing to cross species with the winner of a archery contest, and you definitely see that they have regret feels now.
Lol.
Yeah,
Yeah, what's
that one, that persuasion.
I
So.
wasn't expecting the thunder shots. Where did them come from? No, I was good with it,
Just a little added effect. You did all the shooting, though. You were quite remarkable.
Thank you,
You
Miss
too,
Jenna.
Afra.
I knew you'd put it off. Now
I'm
let's
gonna
come and,
elbow Garuda. Yeah, let's go get our
yeah.
prizes.
Yeah.
I don't
No,
like these worms.
Before Gellin, and what was that lady's name again?
Ida.
Ida.
Sometimes called Edith.
Yeah, before Gellin and Ida leave, I believe we should introduce you to them, Garuda.
Who are
Let
we
them know
talking
that we're
about?
all the judges of the competition. The reason I ask you to enter. I believe your showing would have impressed them, and they did mention having work for the likes of us.
It seems we should get dinner with them.
We already
We've
had
already
dinner plans,
promised
don't we?
dinner for
Yeah.
a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are gonna be real full by the time you get to bedtime.
Yeah.
3 dinners each.
I don't mind meeting new people.
Come along then. And he almost like half drags you through the crowd up towards the these guys up here.
All right. Yeah, you can see that people are getting ready to catch the pig. And apparently this is a very exciting event, and there's a dude bro that is announcing for it, and he's like, all across the Sword Coast, those who fancy themselves the greatest grapplers in the land have faced one challenge that was challenging above all else. That was catch the pig. And you see people are clamoring to sign up to catch this pig. The pig, she looks extremely confident. like no motherfuckers ever catch me. Like that's kind of the look that this pig has. So she also is glistening from all of the bacon fat that they have rubbed all over her. So yeah, she is definitely ready for all comers over here in the arena.
If only
I'm going to
Tazrock
have
was still
followed
here.
Garuda and Vesh. I'm heading up that way.
All right. Okay. So yeah, you see people clamoring to sign up to get ready to go catch this pig. What else do you guys want to do today?
Definitely go turn in the grubs, see what I can get.
All right,
Well,
yeah,
yeah.
that's smart. So you guys head over to the prize booth. Over at the prize booth, let's see. I have this here. Hold on. You can purchase stuffed animals, masks, toy weapons, small instruments, a gaming dice, or decks of Dragon's Ante cards. Very minor enchanted items, and also pets.
Oh,
What
I want
type of
a pet.
pets?
The pets available are cat, rat, mouse, dog, owl, ferret, goat, pig, chicken, duck, pigeon, raven, alpaca, llama, goldfish, baby alligator, monkey, bat, snake, donkey, horse, and miniature donkey.
No flying snake.
Oh, sorry, miniature mule. My bad. No, there is a flying snake that is part of the petting zoo, but that's a different thing. He's on staff. He's on staff.
Is it weird
Yeah, so-
for a bird to have a pet bird?
I mean, humans have pet monkeys sometimes.
I think that's beautiful.
It's true.
I think I know what I'm going to get.
And you know what? Because this is a seafaring campaign, we will add parrot to the list, even though it's not on there.
It's a good choice, the parrot.
Now the different pets like vary in golden grub cost, of course, but none of them I believe are outside of your price range with 90 golden grubs. You're basically that kid that like hit the jackpot at Chuck E. Cheese, and like every other kid looked over enviously as the ticket machine just kept barfing out tickets.
What about mine at 20?
At 20, that definitely qualifies you for the less exotic and the less livestocky of the pets.
Can I get a monkey?
Let's see. Monkeys are pretty cool. They seem to be at the lower end of the chart. You may have to borrow some. I believe a monkey is 50 golden grubs.
I'm gonna look at Garuda like you get what you want, but if you have any extra, I'm gonna
How
look real
much-
sad.
How much is the pet owl? How much is the owl?
The owl? Oh, the owl is 20.
I'm taking that and the rest she can have.
Oh, wow.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Aw. Well, I want a monkey then, and like, I don't know. Can I get it some nice little clothes? Some like a nice little monkey vest?
The man at the booth says, "Hey, you want to dress up your monkey? Yeah, they've got some doll clothes over at the Tinker Toys. You could go over there."
But I don't want to spend money. I want to spend my grubs.
Oh, well, I don't really think we have any clothes. That'd be a pretty good idea, though. You want to give your monkey a sword?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Here, you can have this wooden dagger. It'll cost you 2 golden grubs.
Okay. I have a monkey with a
Alright.
sword, guys.
All right, roll a d20 for me.
Who?
Okay, yeah, this is a boy monkey.
Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna have to think of a name for him. I'm so excited.
Okay.
So how many golden grubs are left?
Let's see. Garuda, for your owl, please roll a d20. This is a boy owl.
I have his sprite already. Give me 1 second.
Now, this is very much like the kind of pet you would get from like a farmer's market. So you may want to get them taken care of. I would say that they're not in the best shape. You know what I mean? Yeah, they more than likely have lice or something similar, mites, that kind of thing. Oh yeah, snakes. Yeah, snakes are dime a dozen. Yeah. You could get a pet snake for 5 golden grubs.
Yeah, but if you guys want to use the golden grubs, I don't mind.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think a parrot would be a good idea for the
Oh,
future.
yeah, we can teach him to talk.
Yeah, so the parrot is up there with monkey and baby alligator and some of these more exotic ones. So the parrot would be 50 golden grubs.
How many do we have
that
left?
much.
I don't think we have 40 left.
So it's 50 for the monkey,
70.
20 for the so it's 20 for the owl. So that's 70.
The owl and the
you
monkey alone
had-
were 70. So you guys have spent
Yeah.
77 with the dagger, the snake, the owl, and the monkey.
So we have 34
Yeah.
left, 33 left.
30,
Is
yeah,
the-
33.
Who's working the counter?
If you want more golden grubs, you have to go play games. I heard they're giving out 50 golden grubs if you could catch old Harriet.
What if I just give you
I
a quick
cast
peek?
guidance on Jenna.
I don't understand. You give me some peas.
It's
past lunch.
Oh, this is happening.
I'm saying a quick peek for the parrot.
Peek? Peek at what?
Jenna winks back.
Is there something in your eye, girl?
Jenna walks off infuriated.
Is your friend having a stroke?
You're a fool.
You're a fool.
I am full. That's why I didn't want any peas.
Vesh, can you catch this pig for me? I need more grubs.
So
Vesh.
So, Vesh, you do see that Harriet the pig has managed to defeat several attackers. They have a limited amount of time to try and catch her. Essentially, they get 3 combat rounds to try to catch Harriet. None have succeeded. Harriet is currently over here on the bench, getting toweled down and getting. They have a little juice box for her. She's taking a slurp from the straw, the juice box, and she kind of spits into the spit cup. Yeah. And then her little coach is over there, and he's like, "Yeah, Harriet, yeah, you got this, girl. You kicking ass. Who's my champion? Who's the champion?" And Harriet's just like, "Squee!" And then he's just like, "Yeah, who is the strongest pig in the Sword Coast?" And Harriet's just like, "Squee!"
So you've asked Vesh to have a look into this.
Yeah.
Vesh just looks at this like muddy,
Please catch me this pig.
this
I
pig
need
getting.
grubs.
He just looks back at you and he's like, "This is so far beneath me that I can't even see it."
I knew you'd act like this. What are
All
the
right,
rules
so
for
you
catching
see this
pigs?
large barbarian woman climb the fence, and she tears off her top, revealing her mud wrestling bikini. And she says, "Helga is ready. Helga will catch the pig." And everyone begins to cheer. And Harriet just kind of looks at her shrewdly, because I mean, look at this miniature. Like, obviously this pig knows what the fuck is up. You know what I'm saying? And like, she gets slathered down in more bacon grease. Make sure she gets the pits, the whole deal. Shakes herself, loosens up a little bit, and faces off against her opponent in the ring. All right.
So
Helga
why
cracks her
are
knuckles,
people trying to catch this pig?
and everybody
It's
cheers.
a
And you,
contest of strength.
and
He looks at
the
the little pig. He's like, strength.
Yeah, and the man nearby, he shakes his big bucket of golden grubs and he says, "That's right, 50 golden grubs available here to anyone who has what it takes to catch the pig." And every
What?
time he says pig like that, everyone just cheers for some reason.
I'll catch the pig myself.
Oh,
I'm-
ma'am, you'll
I'm
have to
next.
wait. Helga's in there. I don't think she wants any help, does she?
I don't want to help her. Can I please ask for the rules?
It's quite simple. You have to grapple the pig.
Okay.
No magic allowed. No funny business. Just raw strength, holding that pig in place.
I won't use
Harriet,
it.
she's an honorable sort, and she'll tap out if she knows she's best.
Well, let's see if she can do it. If not, I'll go next.
Okay. All right, so these two are going to square off. Anybody taking particular sides in this action, or?
I'm like feeding my monkey bits of a loaf of bread.
All right.
I'm learning how to love again.
All right, so yeah, this thing gets started. Helga, she charges forward and she goes to grab her. Here we go. Now, as Helga heads forward, you notice that the whole pen has a shimmer of grease about it. It is muddy, greasy, slimy, and as Helga approaches, she is forced to make a dexterity saving throw, which she passes. And so as she slides through the mud, you see that Harriet has one initiative and has used her action to dodge. Not that affects because poor game design, I guess. Grapple checks, but she does it anyways. And yeah, Helga goes to do her thing. Here we go. Oh, embarrassing. I think we'll just let that speak for how the whole thing goes down. Harriet spends 18 seconds making Helga look like the biggest jackass in the whole world. At one point, her top kind of slides across massive barbarian boob coated in mud. She pays no mind. Her people are extremely cosmopolitan, and that's not a big deal. Some nearby people get a little bit of a nosebleed from the sight. But in the end, frustrated but also laughing, Helga exits the ring. Harriet maintains her status as the uncatchable pig.
He just looks
I'll
at
do it.
Jenna. He's like, "And you wanted me to make a fool of myself like that?"
It's not about making a fool. It's about being a champion. Jenna climbs
I
into the
don't
ring.
want to be a champion.
Oh God!
Sienna
Really,
climbs into the ring. Okay, there's some cat calls, some whistles, that kind of thing. As you climb into the ring, Jenna, it
Yeah.
is very slippery, very slippery.
Jenna's shaking it like she's at a country music festival and she's had one too many natty lights.
Okay, yes, every person at a country music festival. Got it. All right, so Harriet eyes you shrewdly and clears the initiative tracker.
Can you pour some more water in that pit and make it muddier, please?
Yeah, the guy nods that that's a good idea, and they dump a couple more buckets of water in there. All right, so Harriet squares off against you. Roll your initiative, Jenna.
That's all I need.
All right, Harriet is going to just sort of rolling slide to the back of the pen, and then she, in the process, kind of sprays mud at you, like a little motorcycle through the mud, and then she lets out a defiant squee.
Okay. Jenna's gonna use the mud to her advantage, and she's
Okay.
going to nosedive. Not nosedive, but she's basically gonna mudslide her way.
You're gonna slip and slide this shit?
Yeah, I'm gonna slip
Okay.
and slide to the pig.
All right. Go ahead and give me an acrobatics check, because this is all about balance and agility. Okay.
17.
Yeah, nice. I would say that you could leverage that, and it's definitely a surprising move. I will say that you could leverage that into an advantage on your athletics check.
Oh, so when I got to the pig, I wanted
Uh-huh.
to look it in the eyes, and not use magic, but an innate ability,
Uh-huh.
and use hypnotic gaze on the pig.
Oh, I mean, Harriet's looking right at you, because you got to keep your eye on your opponent. So,
Exactly.
so you're gonna make this pig roll a wisdom saving throw.
Yep.
All right. Hold on a second. Let's see. I think pig is +1. Let me double check. Oh wow, that's really mean-spirited, D&D. Apparently, pigs are not very wise. All right.
I imagine not.
Some animals have actually really good wisdom saving throws.
You know what? Pigs are actually very smart. Just saying.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
intelligence-wise, as animals go, they're great. But apparently, according to D&D, who also doesn't think that cats have dark vision, pigs are not very wise creatures. Here we go. Oh, dang! All right.
she makes it.
So yeah, Harriet is not swayed by you, and I think that was your action, right? So you did
Yep,
not make
yeah.
All right. So you slide up to Harriet and you just stare at her, and everyone's just like starts yelling, "Hey, you're supposed to catch the pig!" and other useful advice like that. All right, Harriet's turn. Let's see. I mean, while we got a stat block here, maybe Harriet will participate in some jest here. So Harriet is going to give you a noms on the head. So since you are prone, Harriet will have advantage to this attack roll.
If Jenna dies in a pig
Jenna
pit,
is knocked out to a pig, dude. Oh god.
All right, let's see
what a
what happens.
fitting end.
Here we go. That would be a nat 20.
That's a crit.
Oh my god. All right.
Card out.
Let's see what happens.
Holy shit.
Oh my god. Yeah, so this is piercing because it's a bite. This is maximum double damage. Because she goes to, it says she bites you on the knee. So I guess she starts chewing on your hair, and sort of reflexively you kind of curl up to get away from her, and you hit her in the chin with your knee, and you suddenly see her cutesy demeanor fade away, and it's like full Miss Piggy rage, and she just bites down hard on your knee. That would be, oh my god. So maximum double damage. So that'd be 13 points of damage.
Still up.
All right.
Oh, thank God. Yes, Jenna. Yes.
Nearly got knocked
Go,
unconscious.
girl.
Knocked unconscious
No,
by
I want the crit
Four.
card. Please make the
You
crit
said
card happen.
You go, girl.
He did make it happen.
Yeah, the crit
14.
card
Okay.
says
Okay.
it said maximum double damage. So I don't have.
Oh, okay.
She doesn't
Okay.
roll for double damage. She just automatically does the maximum amount of the critical, which
Okay.
is pretty nuts on its own. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Jenna, she is going to then with her remaining movement, she's going to 5e schnuffle around. She is all about this mud and suffers no penalties to moving in it, because this is what she does for a living. All right, Jenna, you are prone on the ground. What are you going to do?
I'm gonna just jump up and tackle the pig and try and grapple it.
All right, dexterity saving throw for jumping up in this slippery, greasy mud. Well, hot shit. Yeah, you kip up in the mud, and then?
I'm gonna try to grapple it.
All right.
luck.
Here we go. Good dice. Good dice.
Oh.
All right.
She can flub it.
Yeah, Harriet will try her best to do her acrobatics to get away from you. Here we go. That is a 10. She almost flubbed it. So you get your hands on her, but she is so mad at you for kneeing her in the groin that she just starts squeeing and like starts headbutting you with her head and like pawing at you with her hooves and slips out of your grasp. It is a close thing, and you could see the guy with the bucket of grubs. He looked a little nervous there, like it was all almost over. All right, this would be the last round then. Harriet, she is not pleased at all with this. She's going to try to attack you again, non-lethal, but she is going to attack again.
That's where you get KO'd by the pig.
That is an 18.
Yeah, that hits. Ugh.
All right, so
Can't
non-lethal
shield that.
damage.
These dice rolls.
Harriet
Less than
delivers
4.
maximum damage.
Jenna just falls unconscious next to Harriet.
All right. So yeah, she charges forward and like with the side of her body, she like hits your shins, and you do like a front flip, and then land in the mud, and you feel all the wind knocked out of your body, and your vision goes black as you kind of pass out.
I didn't know the pig was allowed to fucking kill me.
Lap around the place. Locke, you see that Jenna's knee is already bruising up real bad from where the tusks of the little pig kind of broke the skin and got in there. Yeah. So the crowd cheers uproariously, and the man breathes a sigh of relief, and he shakes his bucket of grubs. Anyone else ready to step up to the greatest grappling challenge the Sword Coast has to offer? Are you the one, the only, the legendary hero who can? And he puts his hand up to his ear, and the crowd screams, "Catch the pig!" And they all start cheering.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'm in here.
All right.
For God's sake.
Someone's
Someone's gonna catch this pig, apparently.
All right. Harriet has to roll a fresh initiative. Here we go. Okay. Harriet, you and Harriet square off. Okay. And yeah, she starts off by running away.
All right, Locke will.
And
pull out.
then she will. You know what? She's gonna hold her action.
We'll get
So you're up,
down.
Locke.
Yeah, Locke will get down on one knee, pull out a small ration, and hand it out, and try to use his animal handling skills to get this pig to come up to him.
Oh, okay. I need to know. Is this a dry ration from an adventurer's kit?
Yeah, just something basic. Yep. Yep.
Okay. You could try a handle animal check, I guess.
What you don't know is this pig eats freaking caviar.
Yeah. She turns to you and she uses her reaction to take a mighty shit. Much to the pleasure of the crowd. And then she gives some of the shit a little kick and sends some of the pellets in your general direction. All right, back to Harriet's turn. Unless you had anything else you want to do, Locke.
No.
All right. Harriet will kind of canter around the ring a little bit, and then stop and use her readied action. Back to you. You hear the announcer say, "Time is running out, folks. Will this large turtle be able to catch..." What? What would he catch? The pig! That's right, we'll be able to catch the pig! So, Locke, what are you going to do?
Locke to the fence and jump out of the ring. Hey. It's your day.
Say
All
that
right.
again. Cut out.
So you exit the ring. You're out. All right. Yeah,
I'll
Harriet.
toss the ring. I'll toss the ring.
All right. Yeah, Harriet does another victory lap, and everyone cheers.
Jenna's gonna go to Vesh and be like, Vesh, you see, it always had to be you.
He
And,
just starts
swallow
laughing.
your-
He's just like,
Swallow
And
your
Locke,
pride a
as
bit and
as you're climbing out, your lower half all muddy and stuff, and the pig taunting you from inside the ring, you hear an old woman talking to her male companion, and she says, "I don't know. Maybe we need people like that." And he just guffaws, and he says, yeah, forget the turtle. We should hire the fucking pig." And they both have a long laugh at what has transpired. All right. Anyone else want to fight this unbeatable
Vesh.
opponent?
Vesh, will you please?
It
he
really
looks at
is
he's
the
standing
strongest
here
pig in
like
all
watching
of
you guys
Faerun.
here, and he looks over his shoulder and he sees the two people he was trying to impress standing there. And he looks at the messes you guys have made of it yourselves, and he's just like, "No." Quite simply, no.
So the barker over here, sensing an opportunity, says, "Oi, hey, pretty lady, yeah, hail and fair hail and well met, and all that, Sword Coast customs. I couldn't help but notice you eyeballing that gentleman's golden grubs with a hungry ferocity. How's about you come on over here and guess the treasure chest? If you get it right, I've got a bucket
A bucket?
full of grubs for you." And he shows you his golden bucket of grubs. There it is on the table. It's even included in the goddamn map art.
I mean, I'm having such a good time. I'll try, I guess.
All right, fair warning, fair warning. I got a lot of trained mimics up there, so you got to be very careful. One of those chests is going to have the treasure. The others are going to be deadly mimics that are going to eat you up, and who wouldn't, am I right? All right, so head on up to the stage. Hey, everybody, I've got a beautiful woman, and she's going to do something stupid.
Catch
Everyone
that
rushes over to
pig.
see, especially other beautiful women who there's nothing greater than watching another beautiful woman fail horribly in public. So here we go.
Yeah,
Even the
Jenna's
guard
gonna
there.
like wave to everyone and like start putting on a show, and then
Okay.
she's gonna walk to each chest like it's one of those briefcases that you
Now,
get the number on
Jenna,
that
the
one game
bucket
show.
that he indicated has so many grubs in it. I am talking like a lot of grubs. So over 100 grubs in that bucket. So yeah, you have to pick, and I will randomly determine right now which one of the chests is the right chest.
Can I walk up and like inspect each
Oh,
chest?
no touching. As soon as you touch a chest, it's over.
I
That's the
won't
chest.
touch. I'll just look with my eyes.
If you're looking for something to touch, though, I could probably help you. And he waggles his eyebrows at the crowd, and the crowd, who is mostly drunk, is just like, ooh. Some of the people kind of shake their heads like, this guy right here. All right, so one of the most fascinating things about mimics is that they, in their stat block, are indistinguishable from whatever they're pretending to be. So no amount of observant feats or skill checks can ever help you. This is literally just a scratch-off lottery ticket. When you are ready, please use the marker tool to circle the chest that Jenna is going to open.
That one.
All right. Are you sure?
Yep.
Okay. All right. With everyone holds their breath. You point to the chest. The man gives you a nod and he says, "Beautiful woman. Go ahead and open it up." And as you reach for it, it springs open and confetti flies everywhere. And everyone like just cheers like, "What?" cooked. Even the people that want to see you get eaten, even those people with like, digestive fantasies that have to go into the darkest parts of DeviantArt to get their jollies off. Even them, they're impressed by you beating the odds here. And the guy, he's like, damn, all right. And he hands you this bucket of squirming golden caterpillars.
Oh, thank you.
And
Yeah,
you
and
see-
like
you
Senna
see
would
the
bow and
other
wave
4
everyone.
treasure chests sort of like turn to look at you, and they all kind of look like disappointed. If a treasure chest could look disappointed, the other 4 treasure chests all kind of look disappointed.
Damn.
All right.
It's all thanks to that lucky pig. Gave me the kiss of love on my knee.
Yeah, and it is swollen up something fierce. All right, so yeah, now you guys have an ass load. Do you head back to the prize counter?
Yep.
All right. So again, they have stuffed animals, masks, kid-sized toy weapons, small instruments, gaming dice, and decks of Dragon's Ante cards, minor enchanted items, and pets.
What are the minor enchanted items?
On offer, they have a dragon lighter, the twin note, the flippy coin, the silent bell, the bad book, the snowball of everlasting fun, the ring of invisibility, little asterisk legal clause, and the easy juggling balls.
And how much are those?
They vary in price, but generally they're all like 50 grubs. Yeah.
Okay, and you said I have
the cheaper ones would be. Let me go to the section that has the actual info on them. Where the hell are you? I think a couple of them are only 40. But let me check. Okay, there we go. Page 14. All right, so they explain to you the dragon lighter is a lighter. That's what it is. It's like a real world lighter, but it would count as a magic item because who the hell would have a lighter in Dungeons and Dragons? Then there's the twin note. It's 2 pieces of parchment, and if you write on one, a message will appear on the other piece of paper for 6 whole seconds. That's pretty fancy. It does have a limited range of 100 feet though. There's a flippy coin. This coin, when flipped, will spin indefinitely in the air until grabbed, until a minute passes, or until enough force is applied to move it. The silent bell is a bell with a clapper, but it does not produce any sound when used. It can be used once a day as an action to create a 5-foot radius silent spell.
Okay.
The bad book, is a journal that produces random stories that will quickly turn into insults towards the reader. So basically, the book adapts to you, and the more you read it, the more mean the stories inside become about you. It is the D&D equivalent of the subreddit Roast Me, basically. The snowball of everlasting fun is a snowball that will never melt. When you throw it, within 1d4 minutes, it will reform, and it will reform in your inventory. No one's exactly sure how it works. It was made by the Ooze Wizard. And he kind of points over to the guy by the cauldron. So the Ring of Invisibility special clause, the special clause says, buy it and find out. And then the Easy Juggling Balls is a set of 3 juggling balls that if you say the command word circus, you will have proficiency at juggling those 3 balls. So of all of the items that are there, the lighter, the bell, and the ring of invisibility are all 40. The other ones are 50.
Yeah, Jenna will just buy the bell,
Okay.
and then she'll buy a parrot.
All right. Okay, so roll for the parrot. Roll a d20 for me.
10.
10. Okay, it is a girl parrot.
Nice.
All right. So, with pets and other treats and delights, what will you get up to next?
Can I train my monkey to pickpocket people?
Oh, well, certainly over time, yes. For now, let's go ahead and get a let's get a handle animal check from you and your new monkey. They did provide
Sure.
you the monkey has a little harness, a little leather harness, and a little leather cord attached to the harness. To see, you know, how ornery he is.
Should I do one too, Crash, or?
Yeah, definitely. Anybody who has a pet, we should probably get this sorted out pretty quick.
Good rolls. Yes.
Oh, my monkey hates me. I'm gonna have to feed him more food.
All right. Let's see what we got here. Pets in D&D, just a joy. Yeah, Afra, your monkey is not a fan of you or its condition. It also looks tremendously malnourished and has fleas. So there is that to consider.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, let me see. These numbers, my dice are taking forever. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I'm just recording a few notes about your special companions that you have. No need to worry about anything at all. Let me get that handled real quick. While I'm doing that, why don't you guys, as a group, figure out what your next move is beyond adorable pets and fun fest. I mean, if you want to stay at the festival, you can stay as long as you want, but there are other things you could do in town.
I'm kind of done.
Okay.
Vesh, did you want to introduce me to someone? I think maybe not
These
for
people
sure.
right here that were watching and laughing at our comrades making fools of themselves in the pig pen.
We were just having a good time.
It was
You
definitely.
need to learn to
Yeah,
loosen up.
You certainly look like you were having a good time, face down in the mud, with your knee bleeding everywhere.
Everyone had fun.
Definitely a rousing game of catch that pig.
Yeah, nearby people cheer and huzzah when you say that, even though Catch That Pig has taken a break because Harriet is very tired from whooping everybody's asses. All right. Also, it's worth mentioning, Garuda, your owl is KO asleep.
Oh, that's so cute.
Nocturnal.
All right. Wow, what an interesting owl you've ended up with. I kind of dig it. All right, and last but not least, I got to do this here parrot real quick before I forget. Okay. Nice.
Don't forget my snake.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. I'm glad that you all have decided to play the Roll20 Pokemon game. That's cool. Let's see. All right, and what do we got here? Aw. That's kind of nice. Yeah, Locke, your snake is very lovey. Did you roll a d20 for gender for me?
Can right now.
Okay. Oh yeah, it is a lady snake. It is a lady snake.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. Oh, okay. Your snake is very dirty. She is dirty, and she's really into nuzzling and snuggling with you.
Yeah, that the two words don't go together, Crash.
Yeah. So that's happening. And
Like
then,
what kind of dirt? Like dirty as in dirty, filthy?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like
Like,
the two words you're saying, dude. It's like.
Yeah. So yeah, she is. So sorry. Yeah, she's dirty like Pigpen from
Okay,
the
alright,
Peanuts.
cool.
Like she's just always. She's one of those. Yeah, one of those animals that's always dirty. Like no matter how often you try to clean them, just they're always dirty.
Okay.
All right. So here's what you know offhand about your different animals. Okay. So the monkey, the monkey seems oddly intelligent. It seems to like somersaults, tumbling, and rolling quite a bit, and it's always sneezing and coughing.
Okay.
The owl is very sleepy and a little stinky, and that's all you know about it so far because when they handed it to you, it was already asleep. The parrot. So the parrot does have the ability to learn mimicry. So it can learn many, many, many words as long as you are willing to teach it the words. What it knows so far is how can I help you? And golden grubs. Those are the only words that it knows. From I guess hanging out at the prize counter. Yeah, it seems very finicky, and it also seems very clumsy.
Oh my god. I got a tweaker.
Also, as you take the parrot away, it reaches out like one of its wings, like a person would reach out a hand, like its eyes watery as if from tears, and you see a Siamese cat looking at the parrot, and the parrot's looking at the Siamese cat, and you can feel their hearts breaking as they're separated.
Like, how much grub do we have left? Who doesn't have a pet yet? Does anyone want a Siamese cat? It seems my parrot
And
has a
finally,
friend.
the snake is dirty and likes cuddling, and that's all you know about it so far. As far as your initial checks go, your parrot likes you, but it is full of sadness because you have separated from its lady love. Locke, you're not very good at handling the snake, but she's pretty good at handling you. Garuda, there was really nothing to handle. The owl is just asleep on your shoulder. It thinks everything's fine. And Afra, the monkey, it's like, yeah, it's definitely not okay with this whole situation. So it is defiantly crossing its little arms and looking away from you like you're not the boss of me kind of thing.
It's okay. I'll work on it.
Do we have enough grubs to get the cat? Next, would you like a pet cat?
Oh yeah, cats. Yeah, they're 5 grubs. Nobody wants a cat. Cats are garbage. So
Nexus, would you want a Siamese cat?
Cats don't like water.
I mean,
Vesh
they'll stay on
would
the
love a
boat.
kitty, though.
surprisingly, a lot of ships did have cats on them to help deal with rats and stuff and other vermin. So
Yeah, a cat would be beneficial to us eventually, maybe. Vesh, would you like a pet cat?
No. A bit too furry for my tastes. I prefer things that don't get stuck in your teeth.
Well, you don't eat it, and it won't get stuck in your teeth.
But then what would I do with it?
Shave the cat.
I will say, Vesh, I will say that you have had some pretty good cat in your day. Like, yeah.
Well, I don't fancy feeding it, so it will either feed me or I don't want it.
I mean, just saying logically, like we have all these extra grubs, and what are we going to do with them?
I don't
just
know.
want- I want
Give
my
them to
parrot to
someone
be
who
happy.
cares. Like,
Damn. This is totally the guy in your friend group that was like, Dave and Buster's, are you fucking serious? Is that what you're doing? Dave and Buster's? Oh my. Oh, and to explain, Dave and Buster's is a Chuck E. Cheese for adults over here in America. So
Wait, does Chuck E. Cheese go across
Yeah,
America?
Chuck E. Cheese is a pizza place.
I know what
with
Chuck
bad
E. Cheese
pizza
is,
and
yeah.
animatronics.
okay. Yeah, I figured Chuck E. Cheese, thanks to Five Nights at Freddy's, everybody would know what Chuck E. Cheese is by now, but or
All
for
right,
the
I'll
most
take-
ancient among us, Showbiz Pizza.
I'll get the Siamese cat for myself, and I'll just have a parrot and a cat,
And Wally.
and then they can
And a
together.
bird.
And Wale.
Wally's
All right.
top-
So the
Wally's
so the
top of the
first
food
the
chain.
first fireball, I don't have to track any of the shit anymore. Got it. Okay. 'Cause this ain't no Matt Mercer game. You ain't gonna be stuffing your weasel in your prison pouch when it's not cute for the plot. So. Poor Sprinkles. Poor Sprinkles. Okay, cool. Sounds good to me. I'm trying to find you adorable miniatures for these animals that won't be around too long. It's fantastic.
Hey, I sent you one, Chris. I sent you.
Oh yeah, I got yours. Thank you for the it's a cutie for sure. Believe it or not, I have 1 million owl tokens because for a while before Flying Snake came around, they were the best familiar in the game. So now, by the way, if you ever want to do familiar, I do just allow people to take the stats of a flying snake and just have whatever animal skin they want. Because flying snake is so good that it's
is that a
it make-
familiar?
yeah, it is. It is a familiar. It has flyby like an owl, but it has blind sight like a snake, and it has a swim speed. It has a land speed, and it has a flight speed. So it's like, why would anybody take any other familiar? But I like seeing different like varieties of familiars. So basically, a flying snake is the baseline stat for familiars when I play D&D. So
I DM
obviously
for
it's not
someone
that
who literally their familiar is a lizard, and I'm just like, don't you want something more useful? You know, something that can actually move quickly or fly, or that has something going for it. And he's like, no, I want a lizard.
Good for them. Good for them. The goo warlock in my Tuesday game, he has little trash panda, which is a raccoon, and it just has the stats of a cat, and the DM won't even let him have dark vision. It's like the saddest thing I've ever seen. But we still love little trash panda, just the same. But I don't know.
The lizard's called Betty.
I
And
like
it's like the only thing it's done of any use so far is there was a goblin running away from us and we couldn't catch up with it, so he hurled the lizard and it got stuck to the goblin's like backpack.
All right.
It's
Well, now
like,
you have an assortment of Pokemon.
Okay. And
But
and
Don't
did
have
we
the
tell you
mythical
we were gonna- we
Pokemon
were gonna-
MC's asshole. So MC's asshole is still beyond your grasp.
Not out
But
of
for
sight.
500, he'll let you do anything you want with his asshole. So just keep that in mind. In fact, it'll be your asshole.
We're already
He'll give it
36
to you.
gold. We got
Yeah.
36 gold there, almost halfway there, dudes. We're gonna get asshole.
We're gonna get it.
So, all that being said, you go and introduce everybody to the old lady and the man. Is that my
Yeah.
understanding?
Yeah, Edith
Okay.
and Garen, was it?
So yeah, Edith with a bit of mirth. She says to you guys as you approach, "Oh my, you have quite a few little animals there. What do the gnomes like to call them? Poke the moms." And Prime Water says, I have no idea, but that is a lot. That's a lot of animals. You all beastmasters. And I see.
Unfortunately, not. No.
Naxos, are you with the rest of the group as this conversation is going on?
Yeah, he's kind of standing at the back with his arms crossed, looking suspicious at them.
Is that the greatest servant of the bitch queen Umberly I see in the back? Don't be shy. Please introduce me, friend. Wave to your companions. I'd love to meet them. And he kind of gives each of you a hungry look.
Well, I just kind of like wave my hand to them. Introduce yourselves to the nice gentleman.
I'm Garuda. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, he extends his hand for the forearm shake of the Forgotten Realms, and says, "Well met, Garuda."
I have no idea what that is. So I try to like shake it weirdly, and I just mess it
Yeah.
up completely.
And he takes no notice of it, acts like everything's fine. Rakra, am I saying it right?
Yes.
Ah, you must get tired of being called a bird person all the time. I get tired of being called an asshole.
I get called a bird person?
Everyone gets real quiet.
Yep.
So the old lady kind of tries to barrel on past that slight pitfall, and she says, so I was talking to some of you earlier about doing some business for the town. Is that something we could discuss? Perhaps I could get us a private meeting room over at the Old Goat.
Well,
I love free food.
we'll go. I'll make sure that and he looks over at Jenna and Locke. He's like, the less cleanly of our party are presentable for this day.
Jenna has already prestidigitation.
Oh, actually, okay, fair enough.
And she would have also done it for Locke.
All right, so well, the guy kind of rubs his tums and he says, well, I don't know about you, but I could eat. Why don't we go get some food and some quiet, and we can talk about some business opportunities.
That does sound like a good idea.
All right, if that is the case, I can take you guys over to the Wicker Goat.
Yep.
Let's do it.
I do it.
Oh, what? What's up? Oh yeah, what are you gonna do with your grubs? You're not allowed to take them out of the festival.
Feed them to Wally.
Oh damn. All of the other Pokemon are extremely that you would give these.
I'll feed them to all of them if they're interested.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. I only grabbed your adventuring party. I didn't grab your roster that you're going to use to defeat the Elite Four. So let me.
You also forgot Paratron.
Yeah. So rule of thumb when you're DMing, do not have pets in your adventure unless you are prepared to deal with pets. In 25 years, there's never been a party that was like, oh, there's pets? Nah, fuck all that noise. Yeah, that has never happened. All right, so Parrot. I got a cute one. Hold on. There we go.
We're gonna try and make these guys live the whole campaign.
Your party are gonna be the Elite Four away.
My monkey's pretty
The
smart.
easiest way to do that would be buying a house, hiring a pet sitter, and never taking an adventure.
Put them in daycare, dude. They'll breed.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. It's the strangest thing. You left your snake and your owl together, and now there's this weird egg. You don't know where it came from, but if you ride your bicycle up and down the coast for a couple hours, something will happen. So, you guys head on over to the Wicker Goat, which I do have a map for, just in case y'all motherfuckers get rowdy. So, here we go. And also, if you ever see a mini that looks like another mini that you've seen that you think is a person that you've seen before, please just ask me, is that the same guy? Because I don't really want to make enough miniatures to populate the entire world. So sometimes I do reuse miniatures in that way that every girl getting a pumpkin spice latte looks like every other girl getting a pumpkin spice latte, and every bro wearing his sports ball paraphernalia looks like every other bro wearing a sports ball paraphernalia. Eventually they all do kind of start to look the same. I try to get you at least a decent variety of miniatures to gaze upon. But yeah, that's the situation there.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah, so you head into the Wicker Goat. And inside the Wicker Goat, you can see that these people are well received that you are with. Everyone there knows them. They are known by everyone. There is a general sense of walking into Cheers. So there's definitely oh, okay, there they are. I got it. So as that is happening, Ida kind of walks up to the barkeep here, and she says to him, let's see, Wicker Goat, where the hell are you at? There we go. She says, Lankus, gonna need to use the private room, if that's all right. And Lankus, who looks every bit like a retired badass adventurer who may have been a pirate and got up to some crazy shit. He's even got the little Cthulhu pipe going and the hummingbird familiar, the whole deal. Yeah, he's just yeah, absolutely, no problem. I'll have it ready in a lamb shake. And he goes ahead and he gets that ready for you. So it is the oldest tavern in town, as you guys have heard. It is definitely busy. And it's definitely got a lot of peeps here. So interesting stuff. You see that the old woman, Ida, is kind of looking around, and it looks like she's looking to see if she sees someone in particular. So that's happening. But for the most part, despite being crowded, it doesn't look like she sees the person that she was on the watch for. In the couple minutes that pass, eventually a surly looking dude comes up and motions to some stairs and basically escorts you downstairs to a meeting room. So I'll move you guys down there real quick. Vesh, you do see that there is a fighting pit in this establishment. So even though this is a friendly guard hangout, they're apparently okay with some rowdiness.
Interesting.
All right. So you guys head down into a very cramped meeting room down below.
Especially cramped because of all the critters.
Yes. And it's also noisy because of the critters. The owl's asleep. That's about it. But the snake is
Can you make their
content.
tokens tiny like Wally's is, so we can just put
Oh
them in
yeah,
one
we
square.
should probably do that.
Because oh my god.
Yeah, let me do that real quick. So, everybody,
Could you
all
make-
17 of
Did
them.
you make the parrot miniature fit in the Wally frame, and then the cat miniature fit in the parrot frame? That may be too much to ask. I'm sorry.
Yeah, maybe next
No,
time.
what I'm imagining is that old, nursery rhyme where the cat eats the bird
Oh,
eats
yeah.
the cat.
Absolutely. Your tower of pets will have to wait for another day, I think.
That's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
Since Vesh can't be bothered to take care of a simple cat.
Now I will say
He'd take care
that
of it in his own way.
yeah, the cat
be
and
there
the
tomorrow.
parrot, the cat and the parrot are definitely canoodling. They like each other a lot. There is a romance there that you realize that you would have broken up.
This really does sound like Pokemon. It's like, yes, I need my little baby cat Pokemon to learn this bird move. Push them together in the daycare.
Tiny
All right.
cat used wing attack.
So they're small. Now they're small, and you should be able to move them as well. So there you go.
Okay.
Okay. Pridewater is definitely trying to keep his cool. But all of the pets, he just seems like kind of confused. Like why anyone would have pets and have this many pets, and
Vesh
yeah.
catches his eye and just shrugs his shoulders and rolls
he
his
just
eyes.
gives you a head shake, like
Yeah.
what the hell? Like what the hell? All right. So these two take seats at the table. Everybody sits down, and they kind of motion for you guys to get comfortable. It's a little crowded down here. There is some food and drink waiting for you down here already, on the various side tables and whatnot. Don't let the map fool you. This room is currently set up as essentially a meeting room. So the tables have food and drink on them and things like that. There are some like stationary type supplies if people needed them for their meeting purposes and things like that. So it's actually a pretty cool little meeting room setup that they run out of this place. So the two people introduce themselves to you. So Ida Owland introduces herself to you. That's this lovely old lady right here. In her youth, and maybe even beyond her youth, it said that she was a powerful adventurer and an expert with the heavy crossbow. Maybe she got up to some excitement in the Caves of Chaos. No one knows for sure how all that went on. She never talks about it.
She bakes some pies.
Yeah, and then you also
Cherry
see this
apple.
gentleman right here, who from the art you already know is a good guy. So, all right, they kind of look to all of you and they say, well, it's good to see you here, and I'm glad that you were able to meet with us. You seem like talented sorts, the sort of people who can get things done. And that's why I'm going to ask you to get some things done for me. And this is sort of a job interview, as it were. And based on how things are going, I'm going to know just what sort of jobs I can kind of offer up to you. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense, Grandma.
Mm-hmm.
I am a grandma, that's true, but I'm not your grandma, sweetheart. So you can just call me Ida or Miss Owland. It's fine. So my family has been in town for generations, dating back to when there was just a couple of fish huts and a stone tower, and that was all we had. We built this town from the ground up, and you know what? It would make my ancestors just roll in their graves to see the kind of shit, that's going down nowadays. And you see Prime Warner kind of nods to her to continue, and she says, hey, I'm dealing with several factions that have come in and are threatening our way of life. I head up the city council, and we represent the Saltmarsh traditionalists. You may have seen this beautiful tabard that my great aunt designed. She was what you would call a graphic designer. So it's quite lovely. We're very proud of it. There's no finer heraldry in all of the realms than this one. This one right here. And she keeps pointing to it on the wall, like that one. Yep. The problem is we're very close to Daggerford. Have you heard of Daggerford?
Of course.
Yeah, so it's a pretty well-to-do town, city, I should say, just north and northeast of here. They claim the estuaries of the river, and they do a fair trade. They're doing pretty good for themselves. You can see that their heraldry are not as nice as ours. So that's the first thing I want to point out. Not as nice as ours.
Amber's a little bemused, and she's like, "I 100% agree."
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so anywho, yeah, where was I? Oh yes, these folk, they have come into our area, and they are trying to exert influence. You see, Huh? Yeah. They're setting up their own people within the town guard. They got this Richie Rich fella. This Richie Rich fella comes in with his wizard powers and his magic sword, and he ends up getting set up as the captain of the guards. And he gives special preferential treatment to these Daggerford loyalists. And sometimes he even convinces some of his closest minions. Dare I say minions? Yeah, I'll fucking say it. It's minions. And he lets them have special privileges, and I think they're kind of strong arming any locals who are loyalists to traditionalists to Saltmarsh in our town. He's basically what's the word I'm looking for here? Prime Water, help me out. He's trying gentrification, I believe, is the words that were used. I guess that's where you take a place and make it only good for rich people. Am I understanding that correctly? Does anybody else know what gentrification is? Am I right on this one?
Installing the nobility in power, basically. Yeah. So.
Oh,
The
okay.
process
Okay.
of renovating and improving a house.
Yeah, exactly. Now, don't get me wrong. Prime Water and I guess we could be considered nobles. We have rich families. They were successful. I guess we could go to Waterdeep and what's the word that these kids like to use all the time? Swing the dicks. Yeah, we could swing those dicks. And they would be like, "Oh, yeah, of course, Miss Owland. You're welcome at our ball." And then I would cut a rug, something fierce. Oh, if to see me on the dance floor. Oh, those were the days. Anyways, what I'm trying to say here is this town right here, Saltmarsh, this is a town for the people. We literally have the word salt in the fucking name of the town. It's for the salt of the earth, you see? It's for the everyday Joe and Jane. It's not for a bunch of fancy pants nobles to set up a bunch of seaside properties and drive out the poor folk and turn them into, I don't know, and he says, fishmongers. She says, yeah, fishmongers, exactly. That being said, we have a great fishery and a number of fishmongers that live in town, and they're all respectable citizens and an important part of the lifeblood of our town. But I was just picking an example. Let's go with ditch diggers. Yeah, that's a good one. Ditch diggers. Yeah, they're gonna drain the swamp. That's what I heard them say that too. So, and you can she stops and she takes a
She's
big,
like exhausted,
yeah, she takes a big gulp of wine, like the whole fucking thing. And then Prime Water like offers a refill and she nods at him and he refills it. And she says, so we're dealing with a little bit of politics, you see. And me and Prime Water, we're trying the best to keep our heads above water. But I'm starting to think that if they're gonna play dirty, I don't want to say it, but maybe we need to fight fire with fire. So we're looking for talented individuals, you see, to come under our banner, but not officially, of course, because then then you'd be under suspicion. But come under our banner and then do some odd jobs here and there to maybe make things better for Saltmarsh. The biggest goal here is that we're trying to beat those Daggerford loyalists at their own game and beat them to the punch, as it were. You see, so if something good needs to be done, we get it done first and then take the credit for it, and hopefully in the process make the Daggerford loyalists look like jackasses.
Well, I'm all for upstaging snobby nobles. I mean, they're trying to buy their way to the top, and that's not acceptable.
So I've talked enough. Based on what I've said, I'd love to hear your input on it. But maybe I should mention that they're not the only group we're dealing with. There's rumors that there's a bunch of weird demon-worshipping monks that have decided to set up shop in town. It's only a whisper, mind you, but I have heard that there are shady figures around.
And maybe we know just the people you're referring to.
And don't forget Ida, to the other thing. and she turns like bright red, not out of embarrassment, but out of pure fury. Pure fury. And she's just like, "Oh, don't even get me started on those dwarves." And she just kind of like is fuming, and she just says, "All right, it might as well be out with it. We're also dealing with some issues from the mining company. It was taken over recently by a dwarf woman," and she kind of chokes out the word when she says it, probably trying to prevent herself from saying something meaner. Her name is Menestrad Copperlocks, and she is a shrewd potato. You have to watch her. She's basically, well, I don't even know what to say. She's industrializing. She's industrializing everything, and she's using her money to buy up local businesses. I have it on good, unprovable rumors that she is in cahoots with the Daggerford loyalists.
Hey,
They're basically
Ashley,
trying to buy out
breathing in
this
your mic or
town.
something.
Ah!
Oh, sorry.
It was
And
real
she takes another sip of her wine and just starts stuffing crisps into her mouth. And Gellin kind of gives you guys a look like, and he says, "Yeah, as you can see, we're dealing with a lot. Our way of life is at stake. I guess, how do you feel about it?"
So it seems like everyone else is in cahoots with everyone else. Are you in cahoots with anyone? Do you have any other allies in the town or the local government?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the Carpenters Guild, the Mariners Guild, the Temple of Valcour. They're all on board for the traditionalists. I think the taverns. Lankus claims to be neutral, and we are using his his room right now for a meeting, so I sure hope he is. I have heard that this Kaladect fellow is a bit shady, but he's also very powerful, and the presence of a powerful wizard in a town is often a great deterrent to prevent bandit and monster attacks. So we just sort of let him do his own thing. There's those Chultons that work over at the Dwarven Mine. Yeah, they are definitely on. They're definitely on Copperlock's shit list. She feels that they've basically appropriated dwarven techniques and tools that do not belong in the hands of humans. So, yeah, it's a little bit of a powder keg, I guess you could say. A powder keg is it's like a barrel full of smoke powder from you probably don't know what smoke powder is. Never mind. Sorry about that. Anyways, the things they use for fireworks is that stuff. Phrase they picked up along the way, I guess.
So it's just waiting to explode, is what you're saying?
Right. Yeah. Like a delayed blast fireball.
Yep.
So why
I
should
don't
we fight for your?
suppose any of you can cast delayed blast fireball, because that would probably cinch this thing right now. Any of you cast that?
No.
What is that? Like
I
that's like
cannot.
the fifth. That's like the fifth circle of magic, right? That's
It's even higher than that. I'm pretty sure.
Okay. I don't know much about magic, so.
So why should we fight for you? To be quite honest, I don't yet have any stake for this town at all. I mean no offense by that. I'm just speaking plainly. Why should we side with the loyalists and work for you? I'm sure the captain of the guard would offer us just as much money.
Oh no! We're the traditionalists. The loyalists are the ones that we're trying to deal with.
Yeah, that's what I meant. I'm sorry. I'm trying to take everything in.
Oh no, it's a lot, and Ida, I think she did a great job of succinctly bringing you up to speed on what's going on, but it was a bit hasty. I understand. Look, I mean, you've been in the town. I don't know how long, but maybe you've seen what we have here. You know, this is a town where anybody can come here and make a better life for themselves. I'm saying anyone. Like, God's forbid you were, I don't know, out on the open seas and your ship was destroyed. And like maybe the gods themselves saw fit for you to somehow survive and you washed up on our shores. This would be the best place for that to happen because you could pick yourself up by your bootstraps and make a new life for yourself because Saltmarsh gives opportunities to everybody. These Daggerford loyalists, this Lord's Alliance, they only care about the people who are rich, connected, and powerful. They don't
Can I
care about
insight
the
check
little
to
guy.
Can I insight check to see if he's threatening us?
Yeah, sure.
No way.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean,
But
this
I'm
guy,
suspicious as well.
he seems to love the hell out of this town, and it was kind of an on the nose random thing to say about the ship, but for all
Yeah.
intents and purposes, it seemed like it was just a random example he tossed out there. Yeah, Naxos with a 22. I don't know.
felt threatened.
I mean, you could definitely feel how you want to feel, but as far as like his presentation and resolve, yeah, I mean, it seems like he's already forgotten about the example. Like he was just randomly throwing one out there and moving on with his life. And he does in fact care about this town, and he does think that this is a town where anybody can succeed. Like he does believe the things that he is saying.
Vesh is like definitely on side with these guys already from the things that have been said right now. Like their structure of like their beliefs and everything aligns with his really well. So
now, in our time,
he's just kind of nodding along as they're talking.
Yeah, in our time, we have to answer your question, Miss, and he
It's
looks at
Jenna.
you, Jenna. Just
It's
Jenna.
Jenna.
There's no surname or anything. You're really owning this adventurer life. Okay, that's cool.
You need not worry of the surname.
That's all right. This one said his name was Wave, so I mean, it's cool. I respect professional thing. I traveled with a bard once. He just had everyone call him Prince, if you could believe that horseshit. So anyways, listen. We have funds. We can definitely provide funds for the work that you do. And we both do have some pull and connections within the city. So we can certainly, help out as needed. You got to understand that a lot of things in this world seem to be solved best by a small team of 4 to 6 highly specialized individuals. No one's sure why it works that way, but it always seems to. You are a team of 4 to 6 highly specialized individuals. We are two wealthy and influential people that need problems taken care of. Do you kind of see how this would be a pretty good connection? You go to these Daggerford guys. They're all, and I don't want to put you off here, especially if you're good law-abiding citizens, but they're all kind of by the book, right? So they're going to be like, sure, sign up for the guard, sign up for the Lord's Alliance. We'll get you a tabard, we'll get you a badge. You folks don't strike me. And he lets his gaze travel across the 6 Pokemon trainers before him. The blue-skinned, gold-armored cleric of the bitch queen of the ocean. The very obvious human thief. The female, I'm going to try and give you a peek at my tatas to get what I want, con artist. The Ninja Turtle, the bazooka carrying Birdman, and the scary as hell dragon person. And he kind of lets his gaze sort of, sweep over all of you, and he says, "You just don't strike me as the kind of people that would be okay with that way of doing things."
Well,
Aver's gonna shrug and say, "Fair."
next
I'm
was
an
gonna
any
speak
means
up.
necessary kind of girl.
Oh, Wave, what is it?
What I'll say that we already have some existing problems we're dealing with, and perhaps some existing allegiances. We'd have to discuss whether this would be the best course for our existing issues.
Oh, allegiances, huh? Are you referring to your faith?
Not precisely. These
I see that two of you are servants of the divine. Helm, right? And he points to Locke.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you work for Helm, can I just buy out your contract? That would solve that problem, right?
That would be very expensive.
He kind of raises a bushy eyebrow at that. Really? There's someone in town that's paying you that much money?
No, I'm here with these adventurous travelers, helping them.
Oh, so you don't think I could afford to buy out the contract that these 5 individuals have you on?
I didn't say that.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
It's a rather large sum.
Very interesting. So I guess the question is, without knowing the kind of work we're looking to hire you for, are you available to at least hear, perhaps, what sort of work we might have available?
So
by all means.
Absolutely.
If we listen and don't agree to help, will any harm come to us?
The old woman just starts laughing, and she just says, "Oh my goodness, do you think we're some kind of gangsters or something? Do you think this is the Zentarum or something?" She just starts beating her like tiny fists on the table, and Gellin chuckles as well. Locke, you notice that her laughter is totally sincere. I don't want to be a total douche, but casting guidance is an action and
okay.
insight is a reaction. So there's definitely no chance of adding guidance to insight.
Okay.
Ida thinks that this is like pretty funny. Like she's like, "What do you think this is, Zentarum?" Dude, bro, his chuckle is just kind of kind of chuckle.
Who are these Zentarum you speak of?
Oh, I mean, come on. You're a grown up. You know who the Zentarum are. And then when she kind of looks at you, go ahead and give me a deception check, Locke. I'll be rolling an insight on you, sweet baby.
Well, he could got that one right.
I mean, if you want to be super obvious that you're casting a spell on yourself before answering a question, absolutely. I would just give you disadvantage on the deception roll. Okay, yeah. So Gellin just stares right at you as you say, "Horror Zentarum." And he gives you, he raises an eyebrow at you like, are you, oh yeah, we're the fucking Zentarum? Okay. But Ida actually is like, "Oh, you innocent boy. Okay.
I'm done. Who are the Zentarum?
They're like a crime syndicate. They're sometimes called the Black Network. They were founded by a powerful wizrobe named Manchun and his clones. Anyways, it's some wild shit. But yeah, they operate all over the Faerun.
Are they here in the
Including
city?
here.
Ow, that's silly. Zanzarum in Saltmarsh? That's no. I mean, I'm sure we have a thieves guild. Every port town does, but there haven't been any like problems. Like we don't have a lot of people go missing or getting mugged or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I mean, that's part of what I'm so proud of about this town. Is honestly, as small seaside towns go, we really don't have a lot of crime.
Cool. Wait, you guys
Quite
don't
incredible.
have a lot of crime? I find that kind of hard to believe with the amount of travelers you guys have coming in all the time.
I know that you didn't intend to, but those words could be taken very badly. So I'm going to need you to give me a persuasion check to make sure that you delivered them in a way that she understands you're not being insulting.
Oh, fuck me.
It's like a real social encounter.
Oh, that's
So you come here, Mr. Bazooka, and you come here and you call me a liar? Do you think I would lie about there being not a lot of crime in my town? Is that what it is? You think you think I'm senile? Is that it? And you see Gellin is just giving Bazooka Joe a look like, oh, you done stepped in it now. And yeah, she's kind of off to the races here. She's very upset at you. You fucking bird! You think an old lady doesn't know what a business that's going on in her own town?
Avra's gonna come over here and stand next to her and say, "It's okay. That I'm sure that's not what he meant. The Birdman is, let's just say that he doesn't spend a lot of time around, people like you and me, and just try and ignore whatever he says. It's
So
okay."
she's
What she's
not-
trying to say
He's
is
not
that
very cultured.
Yeah.
He's not very
All
cultured.
right, so the two of you are basically appeasing to her human racism as an old white lady and someone who had ventured back in the earlier days of Dungeons and Dragons. She is down for it. So give me a persuasion check with advantage to see if you could calm her down a little bit. Yeah, okay. She says, "Oh, I'm sorry. My apologies, Garuda.
He's
But
really,
I do
really
insist
useful.
and stand by my data. That's what the nerds call it, right? Data." And Gellin nods to her. Yeah, that we don't have a lot of crime.
I think that's fantastic, and I think it's a
Gellin
real sign.
sent his people all over the city asking people, "Do you think there's a lot of crime?" And they said no.
Surveys are quite
I'm sure
quite
that's the most
useful.
reliable way to find out about
Information
crime in your
gathering.
town.
I'm sure that.
Well,
that's a
also
sign.
we did meet with the guard, and now the guards. See, here's how I know that Gellin's right and the guards are lying. That no good Eleander with his goatee and his glasses and his magic sword. He told me that this town is ripe with corruption, and that only the Lord's Alliance and the Daggerford Loyalists could make it right.
That's the sort of
So,
thing
lady-
someone trying to force themselves into power would say.
Exactly. That's the kind of silver-tongued lies a devil would tell to try to take advantage of an old woman.
So,
Thank
lady,
goodness I have my best friend Gellin here to help keep things in order. Gellin
you
just
mentioned
Gellin is stoic. He's stoic through all the praise. He's stoic.
How did you meet Gellin?
Oh, I've known Gellin since he was a boy. His family, the Prime Waters, they've been in the town for almost as long as my family.
Can I do an insight check how old Gellin is?
Yeah, this might
perception,
be. I think this would be perception or insight because sometimes, it's hard to tell,
It's just
especially with
completely
with
soothing.
other species, because these are not bird people.
16.
Yeah, I mean, as your knowledge of humans goes, he's an Aluskan human, and he is probably in his early 30s, maybe.
Got you.
Yeah.
Well, we still haven't really gotten round to the point, madame, and that is, what do you want us to do for you
Oh,
specifically?
sure. Yeah. So, yeah, pretty simple. I. She leans in very close. She looks around. She looks at all your animals and just shakes her head. And she says, "So I've heard. I have it on good account that there's a house south of town. You see, and the locals call it the house that crawls. And I've heard that there's slavers and smugglers operating out of the haunted house. So
You don't
I was
say.
looking to get
Oh,
someone to
yeah.
go and investigate it and find out what happens. If you could bring me back news of what's transpired, help me better understand the situation, I'm prepared to pay you 200 gold.
Oh,
Do you have
How
any?
about if we have it finished sooner? Would you be able to pay a little
Oh,
more
well,
for
I would
XP?
definitely like to know before the guards find out. I have it on good authority that they're going to send their own group of people over to investigate tomorrow morning.
Well, so we actually on our way to town, we happened to cross the house and walked on in for a stroll. We found some
So
cultists.
let me understand real quick, Madam Jenna. You were strolling past a haunted house 3 hours away from civilization. And
Yes.
the definition of strolling here is a casual walk for pleasure.
Afra's gonna shrug and say, "Well, we are adventurers."
Well, Wally ran off, and we had to go track Wally down.
Oh, is that
Yeah.
what happened?
It's so hard
Okay.
keeping track of all these pets.
Continue. That's awfully serendipitous that you ended up at the exact location that we wound up discussing. But please continue.
Yes, yeah, we found some cultists.
Were they
Were
worshiping devils or demons? Or what's the one in the
demons.
middle, Gellin? You
It
know, the
was
ones in the middle.
aberrations.
Well, they weren't
Uh,
worshipping anything in particular, as far as we could tell, but we could tell that they were from the Scarlet Brotherhood.
Gellin narrows his eyebrows and says, you wouldn't happen to have set the house on fire, would you?
Oh, we actually did just that after killing most of them.
Well, that explains that mystery.
That's the great thing about this cannon here. We point, and he shoots, and they die.
So you blew up the house, did you, Garuda?
No, I was okay. Yeah.
We
I'm
were
sorry,
just so
what?
offended by
So
the
please,
slavery that we saw.
it sounds like you must have had a reason to burn down the house. Can you elaborate for us what was going on there? That does
Well,
besides there
they
being cultists, did you take any of
one
them alive to turn into the guard, or?
we didn't think of that. We actually one of our friends died, and we got our revenge.
Hmm. Okay.
Yes,
All
it's
right.
already
So
taken care of.
They were all prepared to fight to the death, except for the ones that fled, who were clearly cowards.
yeah, that's gonna be pretty funny when the Daggerford loyalists send their two boys down there and they see a burnt out husk. Wait, what did you do with the bodies?
Um,
Nothing crazy, right?
I mean, we
Yeah. Nothing.
Vesh is like, yeah, nothing crazy, right, guys?
yeah, we just set the house on
Gellin,
fire.
because Gellin leans forward and says, "Yeah, because if you left some kind of crazy shit behind, and the guards go and find the crazy shit that you left behind, that would be weird, right?"
I'm laughing out of character.
Locke's not saying anything.
Oh
I'll
wait,
tell you
I-
what happened.
I don't want to be rude, but I'm going to roll an insight check.
That's fine.
It's pretty good. You're going to have to roll deception if you want to keep this one from me. I have a feeling that you did something shady.
Go ahead, John.
24.
Oh,
Yeah,
No,
never
Daddy, yes, Jenna. Yes,
never mind,
Jenna.
sweetheart. Never mind. I'm sure whatever you did for good reasons.
Yeah.
Well, then, Dish, let us know everything, and if the information is worthwhile, I might be willing to kick a little extra into the reward.
Yeah,
The fact that you have dealt with them and you seem open and honest enough, certainly deserving of the reward. So, what do you got for us? Spill it.
I mean, Jenna kind of fills them in. She leaves out everything that about working with the Zents, and she leaves out the fact that we hung up all the bodies and drew paint blood on the walls.
Wait, what? The fuck? I was not told about this part at all.
Our mission was to leave a message.
I was not aware of this part. No one told me.
You were there.
I painted a kraken on the wall with the blood of one of the dead guys.
Oh no!
A kraken
should we
so it points right back to you. Like,
Okay, this is interesting. Definitely missed
So,
out on some shit.
So Edith says, "Oh, that battle sounds incredible. Oh, Jenna, it's good to see another strong, invincible woman out there making it in a man's world. No offense to you, Tiny." She says to Afra.
It
The
should
fact
be
that
noted,
you,
though.
the last one standing, huh? And this bad, unkillable. Oh, incredible. If I shot you right now, Bird, would you just get right back up?
What?
he would in a moment.
Yeah, Gellin looks at you, Bird, and says, "Yeah, what if we shot you right now? Would you get back up?"
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. What'd you say?
We got 3 birds in the room.
Yeah, true. So, yeah, you tell them basically that there were people that were smuggling. She does ask, well, what were they smuggling?
We don't know. They took it all in the boat when they fled.
Oh,
Well, we got some cloth and some.
I was under the impression you killed them all. Some of them fled?
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, they had a boat waiting in a hidden cove, and a couple of them managed to escape us.
No.
That
I
is
don't
why
think
we
they were
burned
coming
it down
back,
when
though.
we left, so that they had nothing to return to.
And they had enough time to get all their goods, take them with them.
No, we found some cloth
well,
and some brandy.
We weren't
Oh.
exactly subtle about our approach. I think perhaps they had enough time to prepare that escape as we were crashing through their house.
Did you leave the brandy and the silk, or did you bring it back with you? Because you're not going to be able to sell that in town until you go through the tariff's office. But I can speed things along for you since we're good friends.
Unfortunately, the house was on fire, so we had to leave it behind.
Oh, that's a pity. That's a pity. Could have turned a nice profit with that.
Brandy and silk burn well.
Apparently. All right. It sounds like you did a bang-up job. Just the kind of thing that I need. So I'm going to keep you in mind for something else if anything comes up. Though, I guess I could give you an outstanding assignment. I want you to see if you could dig up any dirt on the mining company, the Dwarven Mining Company, Menestred, Copperlocks,
and anyone who is in the Daggerford Loyalists.
Espionage.
Absolutely.
Very well, we could ask around town.
All right. And
Unaffiliated, of course.
yeah, so you guys kind of have your light second lunch, as it were, and the conversation will kind of wind down. And yeah, you potentially have another source of income or shit to do, such as the nature of miniature sandbox campaigns. So you guys will definitely need to start getting your ducks in a row for this one.
When the guards go back there and they find the mess that you guys left behind, and these guys catch a wind of it, that's just going to be so funny.
We're gonna blame it on someone else. Someone else must have gone down there.
So
Oh,
I
yeah,
do
I'm sure,
I do want you guys to think very hard about the things that you did in that house and how a team of guards / investigators would handle what they found in the house and what maybe some of the results of that might be, and that might determine what you decide to do moving forward. So just stuff to think about.
Well, this was the only meeting that Vesh had. Like,
the only
he'd be
hope.
happy to go along with someone else or a couple of us who aren't too busy and go in there and clean up the mess these guys made.
Okay. Yeah. So these are
cleanup
all
crew?
things.
You order
Yeah,
dinner
maybe.
for 12.
Maybe a cleanup crew is in order. You did promise a lot of people that you were going to meet them late at night. So
Yeah, I got a
and
lot
the
of.
guards are going in the morning. So I don't know how you want to manage this, but I will respect whatever decision you guys decide to do. And I usually don't run a split group, but if you did want to do a split group, we would basically do like 10 minutes of this, 10 minutes of that, 10 minutes of this, and cycle through it. If you guys did want to split, because I understand that you're in a situation here.
To be honest, in character, Vesh completely disapproved of what they did. So he's happy for them to have dug their own grave, and then when the consequences arrive, he'll just be like, "I had no part in this."
All right,
Pretty much.
noted.
But will they
Noted.
believe you?
Vesh can be persuasive.
Look, all right. I'm just hoping that the door for the danger room burned down, and when the guard goes there, all that fucking shit just murders the guard.
I mean, there is a
everything
goddess of luck for a reason. So maybe Timora will have pity, and things will work out for you guys. I mean, you did pick the right mimic chest. You did win the archery contest. So maybe you guys are on a roll.
Hey, that was some true luck, dude. I did not roll below 10 in the archery contest. That was some fucking.
Yeah.
All right.
Ooh.
All right,
I'll
guys.
see you next week.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. See
Hope
ya.
everybody
Later.
enjoys their week, and we will
Yeah.
pick this up next week. And you guys have a week to figure out your next move. A lot of moving pieces in this campaign.
Hunt Knowles. Let's kill the Knowles.
Hunt Knowles $500 by his asshole.
Yes.
Actually, wait. So did Ida give us the 250?
Oh yeah, you guys got the 200 gold. Yep. And Gellin was not too impressed with the extra, like with the information. He didn't really feel like you gave like that there was that much useful stuff.
Plus, we didn't offer
for
any
him.
proof other than
Right. Yeah. So
burning
like,
down, which he kind
so
of, you know.
he respectfully said that he felt this particular job 200 was enough, but that he looks forward to doing more work with you in the future.
Yeah. I have a feeling he's pulling her strings a bit, and he's actually really dodgy. This guy.
Yeah.
Is it the character art? Is the character art too shady? I don't know.
And the things she said, you know, thank goodness I have my best friend to rely on, and she seems kind of batty. So.
Good old Ida. Good old Ida.